sport fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Let's get straight into the episode.
Yeah, we heading for the sun. Charlie got my high, I ain't tripping for the funds. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stun.
Alright y'all, today's a Monday and Mondays are for Docs. Thank you for clicking or tapping and let's start today's spew. And guys, you've read the title of the video, you already know who it is. I'm very happy to be welcoming to the Doxcast for the very first time, Lenny Sinclair.
Thanks for having me, brother. Firstly, congrats on the 100 episodes. That's awesome.
Thank you.
A lot of people don't get that far. It's a good effort, bro, you know?
Fuck, thank you, bro. That's the first time a guest has ever said something like that to me.
So I've listened to a couple episodes. I haven't listened to that one. I should go back and listen to it. But yeah, bro, you know, you got to be proud of yourself for doing something like that, sticking at it. It's about being consistent, you know? Like, you slowly building, and then one day, it'll take off.
You're a legend, bro. Champion. Honestly, no one's ever come on and big ups like that first thing. My mates obviously are always there to support, but I really appreciate that.
Well, bro, it's like, you know, probably the reason you asked me to come on, you see other people striving towards things and it's like-minded people, you know? I'm on a path, you're on a path, and I like seeing people do that, bro. No matter what field it is, you know?
Yeah. No, I love, bro. It's mad. I really appreciate that. And I find that the more people out there chasing and hustling and making shit happen, it pumps me up.
It's inspiring. No matter what they do. No matter what they do, it's inspiring. So
yeah, fucking oath. Well, I'll tell you what, I've been obviously thinking about this episode ever since we've discussed that we're going to do it for the first time.
Yep.
And I don't really know ever how to start the podcast, but I actually came up with a couple things just before we sat down. So last night, I actually got to watch a pretty good fight, actually. I really enjoyed that. But it wasn't actually through the live stream that you put up. I wasn't even aware or necessarily thinking about the fact that it was on last night. My mate Charlie put up a story.
Oh,
and
yeah?
I said
You know
to
Charlie?
I said, bro, please FaceTime me right now. And
You on FaceTime
I
with
watched
him?
it off
No
FaceTime,
way.
bro. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, Charlie's a good guy, bro. He comes to all my fights. A lot of people. This is the thing about fighting, right? You think you're popular. You got a lot of friends. Everyone's gonna come support you. When it comes down to it,
Yeah.
not a lot of people come. So when people do come to my fights and support me, it means a lot. And you want to fight harder for the people that come and support you. And yeah, Charlie always comes to my fights. So shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him, bro. I met him through doing the podcast, you know. I met him through this, yeah.
I remember him posting you. This is way back.
Yeah.
I remember actually. Funny,
Right.
Yeah, right.
He's wild, bro. Yeah, but he's a legend, bro. Charlie's a sick cunt, isn't he? He's a fucking sick cunt. I've seen him at a couple fights this year already. But I tell you what, it did make me think as well. Because ever since I first saw you, I have to give the shout outs to it was either through Nick Batar or through Jess Ann.
Yeah, it's probably Nick. I did his one
through
first.
one of those. And I think maybe because there was two of them, I don't know, the way that Instagram works, bro, it's so cool. It kind of brings people closer and closer, you know?
Sure.
It's fucking so cool. But I knew I'd seen you before and I could not work out where, bro. I swear to God, I was thinking like, man, I swear, do I know him from here? What the fuck? Until literally 20 minutes ago.
What was it? Tell me.
20 minutes ago, I actually went and grabbed this.
What is
First time contenders, full force performers.
Oh, wow.
There you are right there, bro.
Brother, that night, that was my second fight. Yeah,
Okay,
I was going to say that. Yeah, that's me, bro. Who did you go and watch it? Like,
yeah, I think this one, it was Daniel Audette.
oh,
Daniel
yeah.
Audette. Yeah, he's one of my boys. He's like all those Audette brothers.
Can I see that? 1 sec.
Yeah.
Bro, that's hectic. That there on the front cover, that's my boy Chris Kid Dingo.
Mad.
Anyway, yeah, that's a throwback, bro.
I
Wow.
started full tripping it, I was like,
Wow. Little Isaiah Badado, shout out. Heaps of shout outs.
bro, I just swear I was
That's mad.
tripping out. I couldn't believe it. I was
Yeah,
like,
so that
no,
was my
I've seen
second.
him.
That was my second kickboxing fight.
Mad.
March 2022.
Yeah, it's so crazy, bro. Because it's like I watched that fight. I watched you fight. Like it's just like
Small world.
fuck, it's so small.
Hey,
bro.
well, at least I got the win in that one.
yeah. Well, speaking on that, I feel like, you know, win is a good perspective to have because after what you were dropping last night in your stories, if we're going to talk about last night's fight, it sounds like you won that fight, bro. But to be honest, as a watcher, it was a good fight, bro.
Yeah,
it was like hand-to-hand combat the whole
Yeah,
time.
for sure. My opponent was good. I am a sore loser. I hate to lose only because of how much hard work I put in this. Like, no one has any idea how much effort I put in. Like, I'm running a business, training twice a day. Like, I push myself so hard. And, like, after the fight, obviously, I thought I won. During the fight, you got no idea what's going on. Like, he could have been smashing me. I could have been smashing him. When you're in there, your adrenaline's so high, it's just like a blur. But I felt so in control that I was convinced I won all 4 rounds. Everyone there was telling me I won. Oh, you got robbed, blah, 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 blah. When I went back home and watched it, it was actually way closer than I thought. He actually did pretty good. But essentially, for the people that don't know on the camera, they announced my opponent as the winner by split decision. And I went, fair enough. I was the outsider. It was in his, it was his show, affiliate of his gym, etc., etc. And he won the fight. They called it out. And I went, all right, I can live with that. Then I went and spoke to because a couple of years ago, my mate got robbed bad in a fight. And they scribbled out the cards and they fucked with it. This stuff happens. It's not like It's not like poor me. It happens to everyone.
Wow, I didn't
it's
even
like,
know.
If you're fighting on someone's hometown show, blah, 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 they'll give close fights to them, which is normal. Mm-hmm. And I expected that if it went to the decision. And I went up to the official, read the scorecards. One judge had it. So how rounds are scored this is going to be hard to follow, but if you win the round, it's 10 points. If you lose the round, it's 9.
Yeah. And
then you add the rounds up and you get the totals.
Okay. Is that
pretty
why it's
simple
always
maths.
like 37, 41?
Correct. So this was confusing because my fight was a 4-rounder, so it was for a title. Which 4 rounds, if you have draws, then this is where it gets complicated. So this is why it got messy. Anyway, one judge gave it 3 rounds to 1 to him, so he's up. The next judge gave it 2 to 2. So now he's got 5 points, I've got 3.
Yep.
The last judge gave it 4-0 to me.
Oh,
so do the math, that's 7 to 5 me. Yeah. Meaning I won by split decision.
Yeah.
So in the ring, they announced him as the winner by split decision. When I went down to speak to the official, he tricked me into saying it was a draw, but he said you can't give a draw, so we go to the next criteria, which is who do you think won, and they gave it to him. But that is impossible to happen because I won on points. But essentially, what he said is, no, one judge gave it to you, one judge gave it to him, and the other judge gave it a draw, and then we went to that second criteria thing where they said he had better defense, so he won. But you don't need to go to that second criteria thing because I'm up on points. That is ineligible. But anyway.
Damn, bro. Damn. Robbery bar. Full robbery.
Not a robbery because it was genuinely, if the scorecards had him winning, I could sit here today and cop a loss. I've lost many times. Not many times. I've lost before. I'll probably lose again. Losing's part of life. But when you put in so much effort into this sport, like a lot of people are like, oh, it's an amateur fight. Who cares? Me, I care. I'm the one that puts in this much hard work. And the win and the belt and the trophies, all that stuff is a product of that. And when it gets taken away from me unfairly, that's when it's hard pill to swallow. I've lost fair and square before. And I can cop it like a man. But
and how does it feel so I know it feels so bad when it was fair and square that you didn't get it. Is it the same feeling or not the same feeling?
This is kind of worse because the scorecard, I have the scorecards on my phone. Like I'm going to show you. It's not like I'm just telling people, oh yeah, I won and they robbed me. Like, no, it was a close fight. Could have gone either way. The scorecards have me as the winner.
Yeah.
That's what's hard to swallow. If the scorecards had him as the winner, I wouldn't have any word to say to that. I'd zip my mouth. He won fair and square. But what do you do, bro? That's life. Sometimes
it sucks, bro.
Sometimes life isn't fair, and that's the beauty of it. But hey, I'm all good. I'm happy.
You got a good mindset. I'm glad you're defending your point because you believe it, but you got a good mindset about the whole thing as well.
For sure.
You know?
And at the end of the day, the result, I'm still proud of myself for getting in there every time. Like, it was actually an amazing show. And speaking about that, like normally, so I've been doing kickboxing for the past few years. And normally, like on this show, this was my coach's show and I'm the hometown boy and I got the advantage. So to go into enemy territory, I knew I was up against it.
Yeah.
But the thing that really fucked me was I was fighting a Serbian and like there was a lot of Serbians on the card. I was at the Serbian club in Bonnyrigg. And this old fella come out of retirement. He had that many people there. I've never been to a show that was this packed.
Yeah.
So this guy had, who knows, 100 people cheering for him.
Yeah.
I had maybe 10 people there. So that can sway things as well. Like, say someone throws a big shot and it hits your shoulder and the crowd thinks, oh, and they go cheering.
Yeah.
So all that sways it. But, yeah, like I said, it actually was a close fight. If he had won, he won. But scorecard say I won, so I'll take it. And still undefeated.
Yeah, no, that's a mad mindset, bro. I love it. Okay, well, you're still fighting for Full Force? Have you always?
Nah, so Full Force is my kickboxing gym.
Yeah.
I haven't been kickboxing since I started my business. I've been doing boxing out of Jabba in Penrith. So I first fought for these guys back in 2019, boxing. And then I moved to kickboxing, doing it in Full Force in Blacktown with the Badados. And then when I started my business, it's just too hard to travel to Blacktown because I live in the mountains. Essentially, I live in Emu Plains, but it's called Lapston. So yeah, it's just too far to travel and too hard to get there. Like, it's a big commitment. So I've just been doing boxing as of late.
Okay, and I didn't know you were just doing boxing now. Do you miss the kickboxing aspect?
Miss it, bro. It's completely different. Like when it comes to boxing, if I was going to try and be the best amateur boxer in Australia, I wouldn't even be close. I wouldn't even be the close to the best in Sydney. They're so fast, so skilled, so technical. Which is, weirdly enough, that's how I fight when I box. I'm technical. But when it's kickboxing, like, bro, I know I'm one of the best in Australia at kickboxing.
Okay, yeah, mad.
And that's definitely my sport. And it suits my strengths, which are power, aggression. Like, you can cut weight. You can cut big amount of weight. Day before weigh-ins. You get treated like a professional as opposed to like an amateur. It's a lot different. You get day before weigh-ins. You get to wear lace-up professional gloves, professional wraps. Whereas the boxing, it's like you got to wear a singlet. You get bigger gloves, more protection, more... Because the boxers fight so frequently.
Yeah.
You can fight every weekend. Kickboxing's so brutal. You can only fight 5-6 times a year, you know? But
yeah.
do I miss it? Yeah, I miss it. Big time, big time.
Mad. I trained for, say, on and off, not seriously competitive. Say I did it for 6 years or something, maybe 7 years. And I hated kickboxing, bro. I trained everywhere. I trained
No limit or whatever it's called.
Where I probably spent the most time was that one that popped up at Rouse Hill. What was that called? Live Well. You know how Mark Hunt opened up all those gyms? Probably spent the most amount of time at a gym there, but everyone I know fights. So it was always just at 13 or 14, we met some kid at the park and he trained us for like 4 years, bro, at the park.
It's one thing that everyone needs to get into because it's funny. Even before, like, you would probably know when you're in school and stuff, everyone just thinks they can fight until you've got no idea. Like, everyone thinks they're mad. Everyone thinks they're tough. Like, even me, like, bro, I think I can beat anyone in a fight. But the reality is you can't. And it's a big wake-up lesson people need to learn, eh?
Yeah. I don't know, bro. I feel like once you learn how to fight, you're pretty much in the top 80% to 90% of people. Most people don't know how to fight.
It's a lovely thing to have in the back pocket, bro. It's a lovely thing to pull out. But again, bro, like, I'm 70 kilos ringing wet. Like,
ringing wet.
I can fight, but for people that are my weight and in my sport, you know? Like, if I was to get in a street fight with some MMA fighter who's on the same level as me, bro, he'd dust me.
Yeah, I know. It's good to have that in perspective as well. That's humbling.
You got to pick your battles.
Of course. But I agree with you. When you're younger, you think you can fight. Like, me and my mates, we used to... I don't even remember if we had gloves or not. We were probably 13 or 14 and we used to go to the park and just punch on. We'd have 1 minute timers and we'd just fight each other. And like, we wouldn't even know who won. You just fight
that's pretty ruthless. Got the timer out as well.
It was so stupid.
We do a lot of wrestling, just like WWE shit.
Yeah, well, some guy just walking past and he's like, you guys are shit. Like, and this guy was some older guy, like tatted up. He had this big dog with him. And he's like, do you want us to teach us some stuff? And we're just like, yeah, all right, why not? And he just started running us through drills and combinations. And then week by week, we started going to this guy. And then we learned pretty quickly, we're rubbish. We have no idea what we're doing.
Fuck, that's pretty cool, bro.
It was a nice experience. I still have good contact with this guy. He was a good mentor in life to have outside of fighting. It was definitely good for me and my mates at that age. But yeah, it was good. But when did you first get into fighting?
I think 18. I boxed, I started boxing a little bit. I'd like go 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there. And then, I think I had my first fight at 19. But yeah, pretty much since I was doing rugby league growing up, I was never that good at it. And then I think I just walked into the gym one day. I just found myself in the boxing gym somehow. No reason. There was no real reason. But yeah, about 18, I started training.
Okay.
Had my first fight at 19.
So you don't remember why you got into it?
Oh, like I've definitely always wanted to be tough and you always want to be a good fighter and you always want people to be scared of you and stuff like that. That was definitely a driving factor. But I never went to the gym going, I'm going to go to the gym and learn how to fight, or I'm going to the gym and I'm going to fight competitively. Like me walking to the gym telling me how many fights I've had now, like I never would have expected I had this many fights. But it's just a progression of, you start... It's an addicting thing. Once you start getting better at something and you get coached, but obviously a lot of it is on you. Like, if you want to get better, it's up to you and how much hard work you put into it. And that's what I love about it. It makes you be a better person. So I think, I just fell in love with it as soon as I started hitting pads, hitting the bag, sparring. And I've never been someone who there's some fighters who they like hurting people. And that's their thing. That's not me. For me, it's the performance side of it. I love being in the ring under the lights. It's like, that's why my nickname's Showtime, because it's a performance. It's all the spotlight is on you and it's your time to do something special. It's not I want to hurt this guy because he did something or I want to be tough. It's a performance thing for me.
Yeah, okay, I didn't know that. That's cool. That's a nice
It's like an
mindset.
artistic kind of thing, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
of course. It's a platform for you to be able to display what you can do.
That's exactly what it is, bro.
Yeah, that's sick. I never even thought about it. I just thought when I was fighting, it's like, yeah, I want to be a sick cunt. It's like I thought I was a sick cunt, but honestly, I'm glad I didn't continue to do it because the amount of effort it takes to be involved to which guys are at today, I was never that dedicated.
And bro, the thing about being a sick cunt, I agree. I definitely wanted that as well. But the thing you find about fighting quick is that no one actually gives a fuck.
Yeah.
The only time people people, my close friends and that care about me, but the only time people really care about me or outsiders pay attention to me is when I've got a fight. But in reality, people also don't care. Like, for example, I'm the only one that cares that I won this fight, but they said I lost. Like, I could kick out biggest thing, it needs to be overturned, the promoter, this and that, and I have a little bit, but in reality, no one cares that today's another day and we move on and no one cares that Lenny lost, Like,
Bro,
that's the thing. But to me, it's the most important thing in the world. I want everyone to know I won. It was unfair, but look, what can you do?
Bro, that is such a nice point because it's actually a point that I reflect on a lot. And that's the fact that no one cares. And it's not a bad thing at all, is it?
But as well, that is a driving factor you do want people to care, but it's doing it for myself that is the most important thing. That's if you don't love something, I wouldn't be doing it. So it's definitely it's an internal thing that makes me do it. And yeah.
Of course, because you're the only one that can make yourself do it. So you're the only one that really needs to have. It's nice to have support in anything.
Oh, for sure.
It's nice. But I was having a chat with someone this morning about it, and when someone messages you that you might not even know and give you a compliment, it's not like you needed it, but just to have it is a complete blessing.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I get a lot of messages before and after my fights, and it definitely does. It doesn't make a difference, but also like I said. Like say you go on a night out. I don't go out much ever. I'm not a big partier or a drinker, but I go out. People, when's your next fight, bro? I'll come, this and that. Or I'll come train with you. And it never happens. It's just like people kind of, they want to support you when it suits them kind of thing. Not like people who are like, I always support you. That's why someone like Charlie, I'm like, he shows up to every single one of my fights and I love him for that because he doesn't have to. He spends his money. He comes to support. And there's a few people that are like that. A lot of people say they're going to support you, but they don't really. Or a lot of people as well say, this is his mindset. Something Israel Adesanya were talking about. When they see someone not doing better than them, but someone's doing something that they wish they could do. I've probably got people around me that love seeing me lose.
Yeah.
Same thing like...
Maybe, yeah.
Not love seeing me lose, but
that.
Some people, they hate to see you doing what they couldn't do.
Of course, people don't want to see people do better than them. I get it from a biological standpoint. I guess it's a survivalistic instinct that I guess a lot of people still have, but... It's a shame, bro. It's only going to make people feel like shit.
Oh, yeah. There's enough for everyone to eat, bro.
But I do find that, and I want to know what you think as well about this. I'm not referring to Charlie in your situation. I'm not referring to my friends in my life who show me love and show me appreciation for the things I do. But it's almost like your biggest supporters and your biggest fans are never the people you expect them to be. It's like the people who you hold the closest typically. And I say this because I have got some really close people to me who are my biggest supporters, but you never expect them to be because you don't think they're as important in your life or you in their life.
Yeah. That's when like things do make you feel nice and that gives you the extra motivation and stuff. For example, like Charlie, I've never hung out with Charlie outside of anything to do with fighting, and that's probably how our relationship's always going to be. But that's fine to be like that, and that's how it is.
It's sick, eh? It's sick how efficiently friendships can be formed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's gangster. Well. To be honest, bro, there's so much stuff I want to talk to you about. You did mention just owning your own business and all that stuff, and I will get to that soon, but I don't want to rush past this fighting aspect either. You only did it for 1 year before you had your first fight, or less than 1 year, from 18 to 19?
Yeah, about it. I don't know when I actually like started training, but I know I started training in 2018. I had my first fight. I was 18, but it was in 2019. I had my first fight like June 2019 or something, boxing.
Yeah.
So... yeah, and then I did boxing for about a year, like fighting for about a year. Then I went on to kickboxing. Okay,
so how long... So say you never joined to be like, I want to do this competitive fighting. How long into your training did you find the opportunity popped up to take your first fight, but were you already taking it serious by that point?
Good question. Funnily enough, I've kind of taken it seriously. This is funny because one of the boys from the gym, from Jab Out, Michael Leckers, he was he was giving me shit the other day. He goes, "You never mentioned me on the podcast." And it's funny this comes up because this is actually a reason for me to mention him. So he's been a fighter for years. He was at the first ever boxing gym I was at was in the mountains, a very small, quiet gym, not like a fight gym, just like a gym, you know?
Yeah.
2 or 3 fighters. And he was training out of there. And he lost his license. And he knew that I lived on the way. So then he's like, "Oh, can you start picking me up on the way?" So then from probably the second week I walked into this gym, I had someone keeping me accountable because I had to pick him up every day.
Yeah,
He
okay.
lived on the way, so I picked him up every day. So then it was just like, and he's fighting competitively. So pretty much from the week I walked in, I'm now training with him and I'm going every day. It's not like I'll just show up when I want to.
Yeah.
So essentially, since I started, I took it seriously. So I got good quick.
Wow.
And then I was at that gym for, I don't know, maybe 6 months. And he left. He moved to the city. And then I went to Jab Out Gym, which is in Penrith, which is a bit more of a fight gym. And then, yeah, I don't know how it happened that I had my first fight, but I think he just asked me, "Do you want to fight?" You start sparring, you start getting good. Then you start going, maybe I want to try this. And then, yeah, just...
And
so,
where is Jab Out Gym in Penrith? Where is it? I don't know
like
of
the
it.
street or...
No, like, is it near, like,
Okay,
say, High Street? Is it near Westfield? Is it near...
more towards bro, I'm bad with directions, but like it's on Castlereagh Road. So
Oh, yeah.
so if you're coming from out like where you are here, it's before you turn off to the plaza.
Yeah.
If you're gonna turn left to the plaza, it's maybe like a kilometre back.
Okay.
It's in a little
okay.
industrial bit kind of thing.
Yeah. Almost to the left, almost where the Macca's kind of is, or not that far.
Right where the Mac is.
Right
is
where,
down,
where the graffiti is on the side of the building. Like,
you've lost me,
yeah,
but
okay,
you lost
yeah,
me.
yeah.
You lost me.
All right, well that's cool. I didn't know that gym was there. It's right near Western City Martial Arts then.
No. Western Sydney Martial Arts is on High Street.
Oh, is it? Okay, I'm confused. Then.
Spinning out.
That's where I was thinking of next to High Street in my head when you
Okay,
were talking about that.
Macca's on Castlereagh Road.
Oh,
not.
okay,
You know where Peachtree is?
Yeah. Okay.
Instead of turning right to Peachtree, turn left. The roundabout.
Oh, okay. More like near the Sombrero and all that.
Yes,
kind of
right near there.
Okay.
right near
Okay, that's cool. That's mad. Is it a new gym? Old
No,
gym?
it's been there for years, bro.
Yeah,
years,
mad.
years, years.
I've never even heard of it. So you're my first person I've met from
Shout
that
out,
gym.
shout out.
Yeah,
Repping the
shout
merch.
out to Jab Out. So it's a cool gym. You obviously like it there. You're back there again.
Yeah, so it's convenient and I'm comfortable there. There's a lot of... The good thing is this is rare. Most gyms, they make their money off like just general public and they have a few fighters fight team. This gym is like, I'd say at least 60, 70% fighters.
Oh, wow.
So like it's kind of a gym where you kind of already got to be decent to be there. Like you're not really going to like learn from a beginner and work you up. You can, but like you got like... But there's a lot of like high level fighters and stuff there. Like, bro, I get bashed twice a week, every week. Like,
yeah.
so it's good. It's tough. But yeah, I definitely miss kickboxing. Definitely want to go back to it.
Yeah, okay. Do you have any plans to get back to it in the near future?
I do. The last boxing fight definitely left a sour taste in my mouth, and I feel like it's limited. It's hard to explain. If you've done, like, it's probably, yeah, it feels so limited to me because I have these other skills, knees, kicks, and I feel like I'm not getting to express myself the way I want to.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I love about kickboxing is you can really knock people out good. Like I've got a good highlight reel for an amateur. Like you look at my highlight reel, it's impressive and I'm proud of that. But it's very hard to do that in boxing. Like I was saying, there's bigger gloves. They definitely don't let you get hurt as quick, which is good. Like I said, they fight so frequently, they don't want you to get... If you're getting outclassed, they'll just stop it. It's not a go down on your shield, which is where the Muay Thai and the kickboxing, they're a bit more like tough guy sport. Like they if you're getting an 8 count, you're getting dropped and you got to get back up. And I like that. It's a lot scarier. It's much more of like, all right, we've agreed to a fight. Meet me in the park at this time. And you're like, holy shit. Whereas boxing feels like a sport, which it is.
That's a good point.
Which is why I think boxing is harder to be good at because so many people do it.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, I'm not even the best in Penrith, let alone the best in Sydney. Whereas kickboxing, there's less people that do it, but I feel like I could be the best in Australia.
And that's a very good point. And I've got to be honest, the reason why I didn't like kickboxing, one, it was scarier. It was a lot more risk involved, especially for someone who wasn't taking it as seriously as I should have been, considering I actually signed up for an amateur fight. I don't even remember if it was boxing or kickboxing. It was through some event at Zoo Fitness.
Oh, black tie?
Black tie, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's what a trip out. Okay, so I was at that gym in the mountains. then when I said my mate moved to the city, I signed up for that black tie thing. I did it, but what happened was the guy that ran at Lapo, he just said, oh, yep, sign up. He didn't know that I'd trained. So I didn't know you were meant to be like full fresh beginner. I'd already had like 6 months training.
Oh, yeah.
So when I was doing the training, I was like a machine. Everyone was looking at me like I was a weapon. So I thought I was heaps good. They couldn't get me a match because I was a bit too good.
Damn.
Not good compared to a real fighter, but good compared to the beginners.
Yeah.
So then after that, I think he told me, oh, there's a good boxing gym, Penrith, go to jab out.
Okay. That's cool. I think I was signed up for the second one that they were hosting, and it hit just as COVID started.
That would have been 2020 because it was 2019 their first one.
Yeah, and it was a shame, but to be honest, I'm kind of glad I got my out. To be honest, because I would have continued to do that.
Bro, and that's good. That's another thing I was gonna. That just sparked a memory. Like I've forgotten about that black tie thing. So the coaches were Tyson Pedro, James Tahuna, two UFC legends. Tyson was in the UFC at the time, and I was in his team, and even just that, I'm a big MMA fan, like diehard. I know everything. You can ask me anything, I know it all about MMA.
Yeah.
Love it, even though I don't do MMA.
Yeah.
So I think I signed up for that as well because I wanted to be around Tyson and that. And then he taught me a lot as well, bro. Like even I never got
nice. You got to train with him.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I was actually doing a couple PTs and stuff with him. And it's funny when you're younger and people say things to you and you don't know that it sticks, but then later on in life it comes to you and you remember what they've said to you. The night they celebrated the black tie thing, I was still there and it was at Panthers. I can't remember what he said like specifically, but he kind of just like sat me down and we're all drunk and stuff. And he's like, I can see like what kind of person you are. And he's like, I've been there when I was young. And he's like, you've got two ways you can go in life. You can go the good path or you can go down the shitbag path. And he's like, there's nothing down that way. He's like, just stay on the right path. And not that I did because he said that, but as time went on and I remembered that he said that, it's just a good, I don't know how to articulate it, but yeah.
It's a good pin to point to be like, this is one of the pieces of the puzzle that makes me who I am today. You know, you didn't back it off that, but it definitely would have played a big part.
Like good piece of advice and good, it's just nice to have people around you that he didn't have to say that to me or even care what I'm going to do after this thing. But when people do things like that for you, not that it was a big thing that he did, but he just literally said something small where he's like, just kind of be a good person, follow a good path, and don't go. There's no point being a deadbeat. Like you can go two ways in life.
That's mad. I find that, to be honest, every fight trainer I've had have always told me the biggest, I guess, tradesman along the way during my career as well. But I had a podcast maybe like, I don't know, 20 episodes ago with one of my first fight trainers. His name was Yusha Coffee. And I had to say to him, and I finally got him to come back on. I haven't seen him in years. And I was like, bro, I got to tell you, you just said a couple little things along my youth.
Oh, it makes such a big impact.
Yeah.
It makes such a big impact.
It was along that same line of like, look, I've been a bad cunt in my life, but like this is what went wrong because of so.
Yeah.
I've chosen to just go down this path and it's been more beneficial.
Yeah.
And as a young kid, for me especially, it was like, I don't even know if I consciously made that decision to be better. For sure. But I'm like, oh, well,
but it's
he's
somewhere,
a sick cunt, but he's also doing the right thing. You know?
But it's somewhere in your brain. And I just think, what was I going to say?
Just a positive impact. I'm going to try and help you out with this.
No, I lost it completely.
Yeah.
Oh, no, the fact that he like even said to me that he basically said you can go somewhere in life is what he was alluding to.
Oh,
the fact that someone says something to you and makes you believe you can do it. That's essentially what he did.
That's powerful too. That's awesome.
That's what I was trying. I'm glad I didn't lose that. I had it and then I was losing it. I was like, no, I'm fumbling it, and it came back to me.
I do that all the time.
I got it.
Realistically, every half an hour, I lose my point and I just ramble until I get it back.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's cool. So I can't remember where I was at with this timeline that I was trying to put together, but
something to do with fighting.
Yeah, we're still on fighting. But when you went over to, how long into the boxing journey were you before you went to full force of kickboxing?
So essentially, from the start of 2019, I was like, I'm gonna start fighting. I had something like 6 boxing fights or something that year, and then
that year.
Yeah.
Whoa. All right.
But again, you can fight every weekend. Like,
yeah.
If an amateur boxer tells you they had 20 fights in 1 year, it's like a lot of people do that.
Okay.
Because they just want to get experience for the professionals.
Yeah.
It's a lot different to the, like me, I care about my record. I want to have I don't want to lose, all that stuff. But they're just like, whatever, keep them going.
Yeah.
And then, funnily enough, I kind of felt like I not did enough in boxing, but I'm like, all right, I can box now. but can I really fight? You know, boxing's a, you know, like I said, it's a sport.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can box, but can I really fight? And I remember, so who I used to like kind of grow up with and hang around in my teens, my friend Noah, he did Muay Thai for a couple years. And when we were drunk, he would sometimes he would tell people, he's like, oh, just let me leg kick you. And we'd let him. And you couldn't walk for 2 days after. So I had this distinct memory. And I'm like, I need to learn how to leg kick people. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go do kickboxing.
Yeah, that's
and then
cool.
Because I had already started fighting and again, since I started doing boxing training, I'd already taken it seriously. So I'd gotten kind of good fast. I took that straight into kickboxing and I trained kickboxing for a year. I'm like, I'm gonna get as good as I can. Make sure I'm at the level that I need to be. Make sure I'm confident I'm gonna win before I go in there. And straight away I just excelled even more at kickboxing. Like,
mad.
I just had it in me, yeah.
That's mad. I remember a point I was going to get at before as well when you mentioned that boxing is more of a sport as opposed to the kickboxing. Muay Thai.
Amateur, sorry, but professional boxing, like it's fighting, legit. You get hurt, you get knocked out. But I mean that the amateur scene is much more of a sport, a safe sport.
100%, I agree, and I think that amateur, and I have this belief system, and I kind of remembered it because we mentioned the black tie event, but I feel like amateur boxings are a black tie event, and that's why it's a sport, because there's so much more involved with having them at like RSLs and a bit more. I don't even know if the kickboxing scene does as well, but I feel like every time I've gone to an amateur boxing fight night, it's always been about safety and making sure people
which is good that you don't need to be. This is the thing about like the kickboxing Muay Thai, like I've done it, I've fought with shin pads and without it. I think as an amateur, at least your first 5 fights, kickboxing, Muay Thai, you should wear shin pads.
Yeah.
Because, okay, like there's this stigma again, like, oh, if you're wearing shin pads, you're not tough or whatever. It's just like, if you're fighting, you don't need to prove you're tough. Like, you're already getting in there. I've seen people get knocked out. Chris, his first fight, he knocked a kid out with a head kick in like 5-10 seconds. That kid would never fight again. Damn. If they were wearing shin pads, it might have been different. That guy could have maybe wanted to go somewhere more in the sport. But I feel like there's no progression. That's the thing about kickboxing, Muay Thai. There's no real progression to the pros other than taking the headgear off. That's what I mean about like the day before. Whereas the amateur boxing, you weigh in on the same day. You're not meant to be cutting big weight, putting it back on, cutting. It's much more safety and much more about getting experience and getting good. So it's definitely a good thing that the amateur boxing is that way.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good way to get people in the door, especially for fitness. You know, it gives people a reason to stay disciplined and motivated. And you've seen the events, like sometimes you have like overweight mums,
which is good. Anyone can do it, and also you can still get hurt. Of course you can, but it's much more of a. And those black tie things are really good for anyone who's like scared or wants to take a leap in life. You sign up for one of those things and you get a fair fight against someone else who's a beginner. And it can just make you a completely different person. Show you what you're capable of doing.
And nothing can go wrong, though. I got to be real. In one of those amateur events, I feel like they're all good. Yeah, sometimes you have like some coaches who will try and pair you up with someone, even though you've got a bit more XP. But it's never going to be something crazy.
What's the worst that can happen as well? You lose. Like as long as your family love you and you got your health, like what? The wins and losses don't really matter. And it's that overcoming the fear that's the best part about fighting. Like I get scared every time. Like not as much. Like not scared, but excited, nervous. It's like I always give the analogy to people. You know when you're at like a cliff jump, and you're jumping into the water or something, and you're on the edge, and you're like, and you're scared to jump, but you do it.
Yeah,
that's the same feeling of fighting. No one forces you to do it. You're at the back. You can fake an injury. You can pull out. I'm sick, but overcoming that fear and going out there and doing it—that is the best feeling.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right, bro. I always said that one day I'll pick it up again. I don't think I will, just because I've seen the level of dedication that guys like yourself have been putting into the sport, and it's like I'm not that kind of guy. Not like I'm not that guy, but I don't have that in me because there's so many other things I would rather do instead.
Sure.
That if I did continue to do fighting at all, I would have just gotten to a point where I just started getting my head kicked way too many times.
Yeah.
You know?
But as well, my advice would be like, if you have it in you that you're like, all right, I just want to have one fight, you could just put 6 months of effort into it, do it once, and just 1-0, retired, undefeated.
Yeah, you're right.
You could do it. But again, like you said, the dedication, the level of it, that's even me. I see people who, the professional, and as they progress, I'm like, could I be a world champion kickboxer? Probably. But do I want to? For how hard it's going to be? Maybe. We'll see. You know what I mean? Like, at the moment, I'd like to be the best amateur in Australia. That's my first goal.
Yeah.
Maybe turn professional after that. But it's a tough sport, bro. All the all the martial arts sports are hard.
Yeah.
There's boxing, there's kickboxing, Muay Thai is another level, and MMA. Those guys are insane, bro.
Yeah.
4-ounce gloves,
Yeah.
getting in there like modern day gladiators, bro.
Yeah, a lot of my younger mates, they're heavy into the MMA at the moment, and they're younger than me by like fucking 5, 6, 7, 8 years sometimes. And as a kid, I used to just beat the fuck out of these kids. Now I'm like, fuck, bro, I got to act all tough in front of them, and bro, they kick the shit out of me. These kids.
The thing about MMA fighters is they're trained to kill people.
Yeah, bro.
That's literally what they're trained to. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not trying to like slag off boxing. I love it, and it's a beautiful sport. And boxing is probably harder, like in terms of it's harder to be good at because it's so limited. Meaning you have to be so good at that. There's only two punches, two hands you're throwing.
Yeah.
MMA you can win in so many different ways, but yeah, MMA you're getting trained to kill people, and
Yeah. It's cool. So how many fights have you had altogether now? Because I seen a pin on your Instagram, one of the things that was posted, the last one I saw, I think was 11 and something. Are you up to 12? What are you up to now?
truthfully, I actually don't know.
wins.
I think I'm, because I'm either 13-3 or 13-4. Last night's loss, do I count that as a win or do I count that as a loss? Officially, it was a loss. So officially, I'm 13-4, but in my book and according to the scorecards, I'm 14-3.
Okay.
I've had 17 fights, I think.
Okay.
17 or 16.
Nice. That's a lot, dude. That's a lot. That's crazy.
Which is crazy. I never thought I'd have that many.
Yeah.
After my first boxing fight, I was like, that's it. Done. One and done. Same thing with the kickboxing. My kickboxing debut was the best night of my life. Everyone showed up, packed out crowd, scared as shit, walked out, first round knockout, and I was like, I've done it. I don't need to do that again.
That's so hectic.
But
eh?
it's addicting, and you get that adrenaline. There's no drug like it, so that's what pulls you back.
Yeah, mad. Do you think, and you would know, I'm just asking, I shouldn't have said do you think, did you start your business because of the fact you were fighting, your recovery hub?
Yes, I was going to buy all this shit for my house, and I saw how much it was going to cost me, and I went, I may as well. So this is the thing. This is what was kind of tough to battle with last year when I did start the business. So I was working construction full time and doing kickboxing. Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask what kind of construction? What did you do?
Doing
Like
civil, like
okay,
earth moving, that kind of stuff.
Yep, yep.
10-hour days, 5 days a week. Good money. Definitely good money. Not much life, or not much
Yeah.
It's definitely not for me, but it was a short-term thing. So I went to Thailand for a month. This is in 2022. When I got back, I said, I had heaps of money in the bank. I'm like, I don't need to work. I live with my parents.
Damn.
I'm going to have a go at fighting. I'm like, I want to see how far I can get right now while I want it. Because there's a not motivation, but like, you gotta chase things when you have the opportunity to. I'm like, I have the opportunity. I got the money. I got the freedom. I got the coaching. I got everything. Everything was on.
Damn.
And I only had 2 fights in that time of when I was training full time. Then I got the idea of starting the business, and it happened quick. It was a very almost impulsive thing, and it happened quick, and it happened so fast, and then I was too deep into it, and it literally just pulled me away from everything I was going towards,
Oh, okay.
which was very hard to follow because I'm like, you get advice from different people. Some people say grind in your 20s so then you can be free in your... whereas I'm more of the opposite mindset. I'm like, we only get to live once. What if I could get in the car on the way home and crash and die? I want to live now, and if I have to work later, I will. So I kind of... It was very hard. It pulled me away from where I was going, And this is just after I'd won an Australian title as well in kickboxing, and I was like, let's go. I'm on... No one's stopping me, undefeated, knocking everyone out. I'm like, let's go. I'm doing this. Let's see how far I can go. It pulled me away from that. Then the stress of the business and fighting at the same time. I needed the fighting to keep me sane. I had to keep booking these things because when I've got to fight, it forces me to be my best self. There's no bullshit. There's no distractions.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's, as much as I hate it, I dread it. But that's the best feeling. Even as of Friday, starving, dieting, cutting weight till today. Today I've probably eaten 6,000 calories. I feel like a slob and I hate it. But
Yeah.
when I'm on that grind, I'm like, oh, I can't wait till the fight's over and I can relax. As soon as I'm like this, relaxing, I want to book something again. I don't know what I was talking about. But yeah, I started the business because of fighting. Always been so banged up, sore. I was doing physio here, cold plunge there, sauna, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'll just make something where everything's in the one spot.
So when you were looking at how much it was going to cost to put that stuff at your place, how much of it? Because what do you have over there? You've got yourself the cold plunge. You've got the sauna. What's those sumo suits
compression
called?
therapy. So that's like a massage. It helps with speeds up muscle recovery, blood circulation, lymphatic drainage. All
How
that
do
kind
they
of
work,
stuff.
by the way? What do they?
How
What
it
do
fills
they
up with air and it compresses. So
Okay.
then it like squeezes on your muscle, goes through different cycles. It's a massage. It helps break down the waste products in your muscles, which is what makes you sore and tight.
Okay.
Helps drain it away.
Mm-hmm.
What was the question? I just lost it.
Oh, I can't.
Was I
remember.
rambling or are you rambling?
I think I'll go back to rambling. I'm pretty sure it was me. But
Oh, how much does it cost? So
no, I wasn't even asking how much it costs. I was curious as to.
it costs a lot more than I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but I was curious as to what made that initial switch to be like, if I'm going to be buying all this stuff for myself, what makes me go and buy 2 ice baths?
Sorry,
couple
this is what I was
compression
getting at
tanks.
before when I'm like, you kind of get advice. So I was thinking, do I want to do construction? No. Am I going to fight and make money for the rest of my life? No. Realistically. You got to have a backup plan, they tell you. So I'm like, this is kind of in the same industry. It's something I want to do. I'll be working for myself. And in my head, I'm like, I'm going to be making so much money to where I'm going to hire someone. I'll be able to travel overseas. I'll be able to retire my parents. None of that happened, obviously. Ambitious.
Good dreams,
But the thing is that I'm a white belt in business.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I got no idea. I just jumped into it. I didn't even have an ABN. I just went, bang, let's just do this. And it happened fast. And then, as I'm sitting there, open the doors, no one knows it's there or anything. And I'm just like, fuck. Now I have to grind on business to make this successful and to make money, which pulled me away from what I want to be doing, which that was like a mental fuck. But then, like I said, I had to book fights to keep me sane. Then when I've got to fight, the fight is my main priority. Business is not my main priority. Losing money, all that, I'm like, I don't care as long as I win a fight, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So I've kind of the whole time not put any energy into the business and kept me... so the business has gone up and down, good months, bad months, lost money, made money. And yeah, probably from like November last year, it really picked up. Business was going good. Until about like maybe May, which was like what, summer, way busier in summer. But yeah.
Yeah.
Business, bro. It's not the grind that... If I was making heaps of money and I could hire someone to run it for me, that was the goal, I'm sure I'd love it. But business is a whole nother grind that I don't know if I'm passionate about it like some people are.
Yeah.
For example, Jess, she's got 4 businesses.
Jess is
killing
a freak,
it.
bro. Jess is a freak, yeah.
And that's her thing.
Yeah, she's a fucking beast.
Some
She's
people do that.
inspirational for me, to be honest, bro.
For sure.
Oh,
I tell
bro.
that all the time. And like, for example, someone like my dad, I've got to give him a shout out. He built he's one of those people that is like, he could build this podcast room, build things, chairs, and anything handyman.
Yeah.
That's his thing, and he loves that. He loves creating things. And so he did all the fit out for me, saved me heaps of money. I didn't even know how to make a desk, put a desk together. Like he did all of that. So I'm grateful for him for helping me with that.
Well, I feel like you have to find the thing that you find the interest and try and expand on that thing. So you did the right thing, dude. I think by starting your own business, you've done yourself. I know at the moment you haven't got the guys to run the shop for you, but
Yeah.
if you want to focus on health and fitness and fighting and these things, this is another arsenal tool that you've got, having the business.
It is.
That if you do work on this skill set, which is business, it can help you make more time to be able to fight and have more money to be able to do shit with.
So looking at the bigger picture of it all, I'll just say in a whole, has the business been successful? No. But it has taught me a lot about life that I've never had to learn. So I've had to do a lot of things on my own. For example, setting up a booking system, dealing with people coming into the shop, having to talk to them, communicate. There's no playbook or guide on how to do it. So everything was just made up, and I've been making it up as I go. That's what's helped me in life.
Yeah.
But again, I'm someone who because I put so much effort into my health and fitness, I love to just chill and do nothing and have no responsibilities. That was like going from having nothing to getting an unexpected baby and like bang, now you've got a kid. It was like so much responsibility came on me so quickly that I'm like, oh fuck, like I was a kid, like had no responsibility, car, phone bill 6 months ago, and now I'm running a business, and it was kind of mentally draining, pulling me away from what I wanted to be doing. But again, like in my head, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be something that I'll be able to use for later on in life.
Yeah.
But like I was saying to you before, I got something kind of crazy. Oh shit.
That's calm.
A sip of water and I'll drop the big news.
Yeah, sweet. Well, before you do drop the big news, I'd like to say as well, dude, having that recovery hub center you got going, knowing all the shit that you're doing, putting in effort with fighting, right? It's fucking inspirational, bro. Fighting in itself is an inspirational thing. But for someone to wear multiple hats is the type of person that I look up to, because everything in my life isn't enough for me. I want more of everything.
100%.
You know, like it. You said your dad loves building shit. Like that's what I do. This is my shit. I like building shit. Like everything that I see in my life, I want to build. So when it comes to wanting to open my own business, yeah, it's going to take away from the shit that I like to do creatively or personally, but that helps me later on when it comes to incorporating multiple things together. So having your recovery center as a business is going to help you as a fighter, I promise you. Yeah,
no, for sure, and it has. It's helped me be a better person, truthfully, as well. And like, I've always been someone who's had grateful, like, it's made me appreciate things. For example, I've always, since I was like 16, 17, I've always been the guy in my friend group who's had the most money. I've always had the highest paying jobs. And I've gone from having thousands of dollars in the bank to having nothing.
Yeah.
That has taught me that I feel the same internally no matter what. So like I've had weeks where I've had to ask my parents for money. That makes me feel like a bum, but also I'm like, I'm still the same person I was when I had all this money in my bank account. The money didn't make me feel, you think money doesn't give you happiness. It certainly helps. Is that old cliche saying? It certainly helps. But I feel like I wake up the same person. If I've got $50,000 in my bank or I've got $5, I wake up and I'm still Lenny, right?
Yeah. Well, if you were the type of person who could save a lot of money to be able to stop working.
Correct.
It's the lifestyle that hasn't changed. You know, when it comes to like, I have to give up all these things that I love. Some people that earn, call it $5,000 a month or $5,000 a week, whatever it is, they're used to spending that. So that's what changes people's lifestyles.
People set their lifestyles up. Whether you earn $100,000, you're going to spend 80% of it. Or if you earn $1 million, people spend 80% of it. Yeah. But yeah, funnily enough, so just recently, so my whole life I've kind of always been like, we have a direction, but we don't necessarily know where it's going to lead to. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like a tunnel, and you're just like going through life, but you're not 100% sure where the tunnel is taking you. I'm sure you got the same thing with the podcast. You're like, I love doing this. I'm going to keep doing it. But you've got it somewhere where your manifest is going to be, but you don't know where it's going to end up, right?
Yeah.
So I've always thought to myself, I'm either going to be rich or famous. And I've always been like, how am I going to do that? And I know 100% it's not going to be through fighting. I'm not going to be some famous. I could put my whole life into fighting and still get nothing out of it. That's just how brutal that sport is. I'm like, how am I going to do this? Truthfully, in the past probably 2 or 3 months, I've almost like come up with I'm like, what do I want to do in my life? When I think about it, when I wake up every day, what do I want to do in my life?
Have you always thought like this? What do I want to do with my life?
No, I've always just, I live in the moment, but I've always just been doing what I do, which is fighting and working and living a normal life, but wanting more.
Yeah.
But I'm at that stage right now where I'm ready to shake up the world and just start doing something different, which is what I want to do when I think about what I want to do every day. I want to be an entertainer, which is like, fighting is entertaining, yes, but on a bigger level, I think it's entertaining and I love doing. Whether it's making people laugh, whether it's helping people, whether it's being a fighter, anything in the avenue of being an entertainer, I'm like, how am I going to do that? Social media is a powerful thing in these day and age. You see people go from nothing to something on social media. So I'm like, when I'm at like my shop and I've got no bookings, I'm just sitting there, I'm watching people's YouTubes. These people like, I watch mountain biking stuff. I watch bodybuilders. I watched people doing hybrid athletes. I watch boxing. I watch fighting. I watch all these different things. And I'm just like, who are these people I'm watching? But because they've got the content, I love watching it. So a lot of people have inspired me, and I'm like, what I want to do when I wake up every day, I want to travel, I want to fight, and I want to be an entertainer. Essentially like go into the YouTube and social media scene.
Damn.
Which is what I want to do. And I've essentially sold my business.
Okay, wow.
So as of this week, contract signed. The business isn't sold, but essentially I'm selling the assets, and essentially it's closing down and someone is opening it up in a new area.
Okay, wow.
So I'm taking a huge leap. I'm going to lose a lot of money, but I'm like, I can live with it because I'm going to be doing what I want to do. I'm going to start chasing my dreams. I'm going to start going to Thailand, Bali, vlogging, making videos, vlogging fights, showing people. Like someone like Spanian, massive inspiration.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
he's just gone from nothing. He's just being himself, living his life. And I'm like, if someone could do it like that, then why can't I? And even if I do this for 5-6 years and I get nothing out of it, well, I'm still going to have all these experiences.
Yeah.
I can come back and be an adult whenever. Being a male we can always make good money doing construction.
Yeah.
That's the thing with my business. I was like, all right, if I put $60,000 into this and I lose it all, I can go to the mines for 3 months and make it back like that.
Yeah.
So,
Bro, that's exciting, dude. Oh my God.
dropping the bombshell. So the recovery hub is no longer. So what am I going to do? I think, obviously I'm making money back, but I think I'm just going to work normal to the end of the year, work with my dad probably, or maybe do some couple other jobs. December, I think I'm going to start, maybe go Thailand 3 months or Bali, or just start. I'm just going to have a go at doing it. I'm just going to learn how to do it, get a GoPro, start making videos, and just fuck it, bro. When I'm the biggest TikToker in Australia, come back to the Doxcast.
Bro, that's exciting, bro. That's really, really exciting. Honestly, chasing something like online creation is a fucking fulfilling, but yet slow endeavor. It really is.
For sure.
And
I know it's not going to go like that. That's what I mean about if I fail at this, I'm like, at least I'm doing what I want to do every day when I wake up.
Yeah, and that's what will make it slow, unfortunately. Enjoying it. Enjoying it is going to make it slow. Everyone knows you can create viral moments. You can create traction easy by doing, if it was podcast, it's an easy example, creating clickbaity conversations, leading people in a question and then fucking, throwing people under the bus, or whether it be like taking little parts of things that people are doing, controversial shit. Like there's ways to get around everything to be able to get more attention. But if you stay true to what you're doing, you'll get the traction over time eventually. Just stay authentic as fuck with it.
My main thing is, I'm literally just going to be myself and just, do you know that Mashtag Brady guy?
I don't know.
TikTok. I'll send you in when I get home. He literally he was doing stupid TikToks and he got famous doing like food reviews and like that stuff, right? And now he literally just posts a vlog every single day on YouTube. He's getting 300,000 views. Boom, boom, boom. He's making enough money to just travel the world. And it's like, someone can do that. I'm like, that's what I want to do. Not necessarily like travel the world. And obviously I'm going to like still live here in Australia, but I'm like, whether I do it here, anywhere, I'm going to start making like, for example, I go to Thailand. What to expect when you get to Thailand. Process of having your first fight. Like even me, thinking about now having a fight in Thailand scares the shit out of me. But if I'm vlogging that and people can watch it and they can see it, it might inspire them to do it. And yeah, bro, I just want to have a go at that.
That's so hectic, bro. That's
and it only came to me literally in the past 2 months. I'm like, how am I going to get rich or famous? Or like, how am I going to break this cycle of normal life? Like, I feel like if I don't retire my parents by the time I'm 30, which is 2030, then I'm going to feel like I've failed. That's the pressure I've put on myself as of now. That's why I've even said to them, like, they think I'm crazy for closing the business. They've helped me so much and they support me with anything, which is what I appreciate. They don't tell me, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
They go, you're an idiot, but if that's what you want to do, do it. And I'm very grateful that my parents are like that. But how am I going to retire them in the next 6 years?
Yeah, that's mad.
Probably the internet. I'm going to give it a go.
Dude, people say it was a lot easier back in the day to be able to do everything, right? They say that with housing market. They say that with so many different things. And they reckon that, not everyone, some people reckon that it was a lot easier back in the day when Instagram and YouTube and all these things first started and we got our Paul brothers and we got our fucking, all the big influencers and things like that. But truthfully, I think now is the best and easiest time.
It's very saturated now, but also like the opportunity is there. It's like, who knows? Social media might not even be around in 10 years. It's like, right now, why not have a go at it? Like, do I want to be an influencer or anything like that? No, but I want to be an entertainer. And I think the social media is the way of getting eyes on me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I want to know what you think of this as well. So I'm not saying this for a piece of advice or something I've been thinking of. There has been a study out there which helps back my point that these researchers followed 5 different types of fields people were in. So one would be like sport and athlete, one would be corporate ladder, one would be construction, one could be church and community based, and there was something else. And they studied 3 different types of people in all these different endeavors. So there was the person that clawed their way to the top and just said fuck everyone and took everything they want. There was the person who made good trading networks and created a good community of people to work with. And there was a type of person who did as much as they could for other people. They monitored them over a distance of decades, and they found the person who called themselves to the top always got to the top the fastest and the highest, all right? He always had the most shit to show off. The person who did the most trade still got there in the end, and they had a bit more of a better outcome later because there was community. But they did find the person who had the most service did have a longer and slower run, but inevitably they always ended up in a better position in life later on.
Built a better foundation.
Yeah, they always had a better life later on with success, fame, and all the other fruits that come with it than the person who did claw his way to the top. So it kind of makes me think maybe the secret to life is about service. And I think entertainers have the most luck, or I guess luck's a good word to use, because they are providing a lot of service.
They have a lot of opportunity to do that.
You know, they're giving a lot away by just putting it out there because so many people cannot consume it.
This is the thing. I've learned so much through the reason I'm saying, because I consume all this stuff. A lot of the stuff that I consume on the internet, podcasts, books, YouTube, TikTok, all these things is like it forms who you are. So I'm the path I'm going to use to take me in this. It's going to be fighting. Like that'll be my niche, right? Because I'm a fighter, and people are interested in that. How do you become a fighter? Once upon a time, I couldn't throw a punch. And now I've been an Australian champion in kickboxing. So people are interested in that. And I know, like they say, if you got 1,000 true like followers or like peer supporters, that can take you anywhere. Even if it's like, say you put an e-book out, it's $1 each. Well, that's $1,000. So I've taken a lot of inspiration from Sean O'Malley and his coach, Tim Welsh.
Oh,
so
yeah.
everything they put out, I listen to it. They are truly inspiring to me. And weirdly enough, so how crazy is this? This is how crazy life works. So Tim, they had a thing, you know, Patreon. It's like OnlyFans, but it's Patreon. Those two had a Patreon together. So I've been on that since 2020. It's way before Sean was champion. And essentially you just get behind the scenes videos, things. They'll go out party, show you vlogs, nutrition stuff, all this kind of stuff. I've been on there for like 4 years. And one day I saw his name on there and I went, hey, I know that name. And it was Jesse Swain. I don't know if you know him or not. But
I'm not sure.
He's from the Australian top team.
Okay, yeah.
MMA gym. And I just recognised his name from seeing him on Instagram as a fight show. And then I messaged him on Instagram and I go, is that you on the Patreon? And he goes, yeah. So somehow we've both subscribed to this thing. We're both from Sydney and we both are absorbing the same information kind of thing. And we both think the same way. So now me and him, we don't hang out that often, but we talk all the time.
Yeah.
And he is at that stage of his life where he's like, I want to drop everything and put it into fighting, travel. And he wants to go to Thailand as well. So me and him are like going to go at the same time.
Wow.
Which is crazy. But yeah, that's what I think. What I'm trying to get at, what I'm coming back to, sorry I'm rambling, is that I believe I can help people because I know that I've taken a lot of information from other people and it's made me who I am. And I feel like I've got a lot of things to say and do that can help people that, not that they're struggling or anything, but just like, for example, I'm just going to have a go at this. And whether I fail or I go good, like that might inspire someone.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course. I don't think...
And that's not the reason I'm doing it, sorry. I'm doing it for myself, not for other people, but that's a product of it.
I think realistically the best way to help anyone is to be the best version of yourself. You know, I know people don't necessarily work on themselves to help other people, but because you can't help anyone that won't want to help themselves, if you're just the best version of yourself, they're going to get inspired by you or at least see that there's a different possibility I could be living my life. So really, it is a selfless thing to actually be selfish in a weird way. And
people learn by seeing. So, for example, the people that I've learned by and stuff, it's not necessarily that they've taught me, but you see it and you take it. Like, you know, in a lot of different areas in life, even just from being a good person. But
do you feel like you have much of a... I feel like a lot of fighters have this and you kind of need it to be a fighter or to go extreme into any realm of endeavor, to be honest with you. But a strong power in belief.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah?
For sure.
Okay. And in
anything, I think if I put my mind into anything, I could be good at it.
Yeah.
But that's why I love fighting and martial arts so much, is it's made me be a good person and a strong person. I feel like I can do anything. I can run a marathon. You want me to, I don't know, anything. I feel like if I put my mind into anything, I could do it. But I've built myself into this person through the martial arts and having to be better.
Yeah.
Forces you to be better. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere. You got to do all the little 1%ers, like all the little things to not cheat yourself. For example, every morning I get up, cold shower.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable. Hate doing it.
Damn.
Didn't do it this morning, be honest. Cold shower. Just those small things make you into a strong person. Can make such a big difference in your life.
100%, dude. And I feel like when it comes to belief too, it's nice to have faith and blind faith, but I think it's Alex Hormozi who I learned this off, but he says build your life on proof instead of promise, meaning that because you've had these fights and you've had your wins, you now have proof to have even more confidence and belief in the things that you can achieve because you have those little 1% of increments every day, you know,
and putting the hard work in and actually doing it. It's one thing for me to tell people, oh, I'm going to become famous online. I've just gone bang, sold my business, dropping everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. Like it's not a if, it's just a when.
Yeah.
And that's I've got to figure out what my actual goals are. But for the moment, I'm like, also I'm just like, I'm young. I just want to live a little bit. I don't want to fucking live a normal life, work 50 hours a week. Like it's not for me.
Yeah.
Like I'd be happy literally to go to Thailand for 3 months, come back, work for a month, go to Thailand. I could do that for the rest of my life.
Yeah. I know guys that do that. They have
Seriously.
great lives.
Like
Yeah.
I don't want to get stuck in that rat race. But I also, a big motivator for me is somehow retiring my parents, because they're two people who they're very happy. They've got a good life, but they live that normal kids, house, marriage, and there's no real escaping that once you're in it. There's no just dropping it, and they don't make heaps of money to go, we're going to go on holidays, we're going to go here, going to go,
Yeah. Yeah. My parents are the same.
I feel like I want them to live.
Yeah.
See what I've seen. I've been overseas. I've done a lot of things, and I'm like, I want them to be able to do it as well.
Yeah.
That's a big motivator for me.
Looking after my parents as well is one of the biggest inspirations I have. It's like, to be honest, for a lot of my life, I didn't even care about owning properties or any of that shit. It was always like, fuck, I got to buy my parents a property. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure, because they molded you into the person you are, and they provide for you.
Well, my mindset was always like, I felt blessed with opportunity being the age I am today. And I have the freedom to be able to do whatever the fuck. And I'm just like, you trust me. I call it delusion, because I literally believe in whatever the fuck I want, and I know that I can achieve it.
For sure. That's the most important thing.
It's not just about what I want to go down. It's also about whether I think someone likes me, or whether I think I'll just believe whatever the fuck I want to believe.
For sure.
And I always find it to be true.
Right. Well, for example, I lost last night, but I believe I won.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. But I also thought to myself, like, I'm in this position because I'm grateful enough that my parents have, one, molded me, but then also I felt bad because after all this time, what's their investments? What's their assets? What's their things that they can be like, oh, me, I'm lucky. My asset and time is time. I have the future.
Yeah.
They don't have as much freedom as an opportunity. So I thought, I guess they have one asset. I don't remember what age I was at the time, but I was like, this asset's 23 years old, 22 years old. That's a long amount of time to be putting into one thing.
Oh, for sure.
And that's a mad motivator, bro. It's like, oh, let's put your investment to good use. You know what I mean?
That's 100% what I think. I'm like, as I've gotten older, again, you don't think too much when you're young. You just go up until about, I'd say like 21. You're not really thinking. You're just like living a normal life, whatever. You're just going about,
Yeah.
doing your normal stuff. Not until recently, I told her, I'm grateful that I've turned out the way I have, but it's because of them. They were not too strict on me. They didn't let me get away with bullshit. They could have been heaps strict on me. No, you're not going out. No, you're not doing this. I got all the dumb bullshit out of my life by 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
All the partying, all the being a rat bag. Like, it was out of my system by 18 because they weren't strict on me, and they let me figure it out on my own kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is where, like, a lot of people, they might get to 18 and then they start doing those things.
Yeah.
Because once you're 18, you're an adult.
I was the same. I guess I was about 19, 20, and I honestly felt like I have done everything I feel like I need to do.
That's way better to do it that way. Like, I'm the same. I could have, like I was saying about Tyson, like when he said that to me, I was like still, I didn't necessarily believe I could do something with my life, and also didn't necessarily care or think. But when he told me that, it was right when I was at the pivotal moment where I'm like, I can either be normal, go down this shitbag route, or I can try and be the best version of myself possible. It's not because he said that. I chose to do it anyway, but those words did mean something in the long run.
Yeah. I like that, the shitbag route. I'm going to start using that.
It's so much easier to go that way.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
Oh,
that's what I love
fucking
about
bro.
fighting. It's so fucking hard. It's so hard. But I wouldn't have it any other way.
Dude, I remember there's been many times in my life where personally I feel like I can relate, because you have to, it is so much easier just being a delinquent, being a fucking juvenile idiot rat bag who just wants to do whatever he wants whenever he wants and not worry about consequences.
Or just listening to what other people tell you.
I've
Listening to what
never
other people
done it,
tell
bro.
you.
I've never done it. Like, I can't. It's until obviously I became interdisciplinary things like, say, training, or like, say, dedicating myself to my job, or things like that. But growing up, teenager, early adulthood, I didn't give a fuck what anyone had to say, bro.
Oh, bro.
I wasn't doing it,
Yeah.
I'm glad that I can feel like I can relate to a lot of that stuff you're talking about.
Oh, for sure. Another thing for me is like, when I did, so my first podcast I did was Jake Bedar's podcast, which I'm grateful for him asking me to be on, because he actually asked me, it didn't end up happening, and then I messaged him and said, I feel like this is the right time to do it, so we did it. But now since I've been on his podcast, Jess's, yours, I've had someone else ask me, it's
And
Now people
yeah.
see me, they're like, oh, what, you think you're a big podcaster? And it's funny, but I'm like, you get one opportunity, and he gave me that opportunity, and then you start to network and meet other people.
Yeah.
He asked me, have you always felt like you were different? And I answered yes. And I'm like, I didn't know why. I still don't know why. I think it's because I do have that belief in anything, that I can do anything.
Yeah.
But again, coming back to this, I haven't got to speak about this on a podcast yet. But for example, the whole COVID shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was 19, 20 years old at the time, and I'm sitting back and I'm going, hang on a minute. Something's not right here. How am I seeing this? And everyone else is just going, yep, okay, that's it. All right, let's get down, check the numbers, what's going on here. All of it was just lies. And I was sitting back and going, am I the fucking delusional one here? How am I seeing this? Am I the idiot here?
Yeah.
Am I the idiot here? And I stood on what I believed in, didn't get vaccinated, not because I'm like, oh, there's a big conspiracy. I'm just like, personally, I felt like I didn't need it. If you have health conditions or you got pressured into it by your job or you wanted to get it because your parents are sick and you don't want to have health risks on other people, that's fine. Everyone had their own individual choice. And personally, I didn't want to get it because I didn't feel like I need to. I'd be the best, healthiest version of me possible, young, no health problems. And that made me realize that I might do think different to a lot of people, you know? Because everyone just kind of just ate it up and just did what they were told. And I was just like, wow, how am I seeing this from a different... And obviously, it's 2024 now. I'm sure everyone has a different view on it than they did then.
Yeah.
And a lot of people might not have even thought into it. They just go, whatever, I don't care, which is fine. But I was sitting back thinking, something ain't right here, and I'm onto something. And as it turns out, the pure blood wins.
Yeah, you're right. I have these debates all the time with people, bro. I was one of the many who did get vaccinated. I was like,
shame on you.
I was like you for the whole time, but I was just like, don't believe it, don't need it, not gonna do it. And then, to be honest, as soon as the boss said, look, dude, just get it.
Yeah.
He actually got me at a perfect window where I was like, fuck it. You know
That's
what I
the
mean?
thing, like, and
Fuck it, dude.
that's the thing. And I believe they said it was not mandatory, but they put a lot of pressure on a lot of people to get that, and I don't like that. Whereas we're in Australia, it's meant to be the most free country, and it got turned on its head, and a lot of people were just... I feel like it was a test. It definitely wasn't a big conspiracy on like China trying to put microchips in us and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But I believe it was unethical what happened.
Of course.
And I was sitting back thinking, how can I be 19, 20 years old and I'm seeing this and everyone around me isn't, making me feel like I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You got to sit back and think about things before you do them, you know?
Yeah. I know a few people in my life that never got it, and I see them meet other people for the first time, and then it comes up in conversation, they just look at each other like, yeah. You know?
It's almost like a badge of honor, but it's also just like a standing on what you believe in. That's the most important thing in a lot of things in life. Is just like, it's not like, and there doesn't have to be like, there was this big divide. I didn't like that either. Why divide everyone? It's like, bro, some people don't give a fuck. My parents were like, okay, we need it for our jobs. Let's get it.
Yeah.
I was like, hang on a minute, something's fishy here. And some people were like, no, you need to get it because you're going to endanger everyone else if you don't get it. There was kind of three, and I think 95% of people were in the middle.
Yeah.
Where they're like, I don't give a fuck. If I have to get it, I'll get it, you know?
Yeah.
But a lot of shit was fucking...
It was polarizing as...
fake about that. Is this going to get like demonetized for talking about...
Not anymore. It would have when I started this journey.
Because what about like when in New South Wales they were going, all right, once 70% of New South Wales is vaccinated, we'll open back up. 70%, all right, now 75, 80. They took it all up to 90. There is no way on earth 90% of people in New South Wales got it.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Just pure lies.
100%. 100%. 90% of people got it, bro. You're the very rare few people who didn't get it. Trust me.
And
I'm one of those people that was in the middle because I thought to myself, like, it doesn't fucking matter if I get it or don't.
No, it doesn't.
I don't even care. Whatever comes up, do or don't, I'm going to do it.
But I know a few people who, like, obviously it's like one of those 0.003 people got sick from it. Like they got health conditions from it.
Yeah.
But no one cares. So if your mum got it and she had it, something went wrong with her heart and she's never been the same since, you'd be furious because it happened to someone in your circle. No one cares unless it happens to someone in their circle. I knew about 2 or 3 people that things happened to them where I'm like, what about these fucking poor people that there's no accountability?
Yeah. Well, I knew people on the other side in the beginning, to be honest. That's what I was kind of like on both sides. I knew people that got fucked up from the vax. I knew people that got fucked up bad from COVID. I knew people that died from COVID. And I knew people that got hospitalized from the vaccine. And I just believed that none of them were going to affect me. So I just fucking made whatever was easier for me. And
it made me realize that we actually don't have as much freedom as... And it kind of made me start thinking about the system of like the Matrix. Like, you know, Andrew Tate talks about it and stuff like that. And I'm not like a big fan of him or anything, but like you got to sit back and think about things sometimes. The Matrix, like everything in life, it's like a turning cog. Hold on, I need a drink. Oh, shit.
Go,
The COVID, the
cook,
the
bro,
vax has
cook.
got me.
I want you to cook, bro. Oh, yeah.
I'm cooking, look, I'm dribbling and everything. Making me laugh. Everything in life works, it's smooth. How society works is smooth. You got people at the top, you got people at the bottom. Everyone has their role. There's people in the factories building stuff, people in the supermarkets. Everyone has their role. But it's like almost set up that way to not let you get ahead in life. Like I was saying, this is what about my parents. I'm like, they have a good life. We are grateful to live in Australia where we have opportunity, roof over our heads, access to food, clean water. What more can you ask for? But like, they have there's a ceiling they can reach and they can't get above that. So I'm like, I need to be the one to break through that.
Yeah.
But it made me start realizing that you got to break out of these systems and think of a different way to get outside the box because you'll get trapped. And that's what kind of started making me think in this way. And this is when I was getting into fighting and stuff as well. And I guess it just led me to where I am now. But
Well, it's cool, bro, because I feel like a lot of people never have that realization in their whole life. Like I got fortunate to have that realization again for I guess maybe 6 months ago, where I was just going down my job. I was still doing podcasting at the time, but I was going down my job, chasing the money, chasing the bag, and eventually I got to a point where I was like, even within this, no matter how much money I can make
Doesn't
per
fulfill you.
hour, for starters, it doesn't fulfill me. But again, I've been indoctrinated into this system where I'm getting paid because I showed up per hour. So there's only a limited amount of money I can make per day.
and you work Monday to you work January to May for free, and then you work May to December for your money, and you get 40% of it taken off you. Where does it go? There's a lot of
Yeah, bro, it's a good realization to have that
There's a
the
lot of
system
fuckery.
is built to keep the system going.
There's no point stressing about it because there's nothing we can do about it. But there's also like, you got to be like, I'm going to do what I want and I'm not going to stop until I get it.
Yeah.
That's basically the mindset I have about anything in life. you
Yeah.
know?
And it's an open mind is the only thing that's going to be able to get anyone there, to be honest. An open mind. Yes, the system's built to keep you in it, but with an open mind, you can just get around it.
There's always ways, bro. There's always ways to break through and you just got to keep chipping away. There's what's that saying? It's like, give me 5 hours an axe and a tree and I'll spend 4 hours sharpening the blade. Like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, bro.
Damn, that's a mad quote.
I feel like I've got, that's why I'm ready and I'm in the position right now. 2 years ago, could I have gone and dropped everything and chased this dream? This dream has only come to me like recently as well. But I'm like, right now, my foundation is so strong that I feel like I have a good base to build into being something. Does that make sense?
Of course,
In
of
life.
course.
And that's where the martial arts has taken me to. My base is so strong. I'm like mentally, physically, spiritually, everything is
Mad.
on the way up.
I think it's a combination of all the skills you've learned for all the different endeavors. So, say working, also training, fighting,
And the business,
competitively.
even that.
The business, 100%.
Everything in
the
life
business.
happens for a reason. It's taught me so much about myself.
If you do want to take content creation seriously as a full-time pursuit as an entertainer, I have people in my life who also say the same thing. I have fucking so much faith and push for them, but they're just not doing anything.
Yeah, no, for sure. For
They're
sure.
not. So I'm curious, do you have a plan for how often you want to be consistent, or have you worked any of that out yet?
I haven't, but also it's like, I want to go to Thailand, firstly, for my first stint. That'll be my first stint. Start out, I want to chill for a little bit. Like, bro, I'm selling my business, I'm going to have some money. It's not like I'm fucking broke. But firstly, I just want to chill for a little bit. I'm like, I feel like I've been working 7 days a week, which I have for the past, I maybe only had 3 or 4 months where I was chasing that dream of not working. So essentially, I've just been working nonstop, training twice a day. I'm like, I just need like a month where I'm just like, bro, just give me a fucking break, please.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna have a plan. But also the thing is, I don't have the excuse if I don't have time, because when I'm over there, unless I've got a fight booked, I don't need to be training twice a day. I could train once in the morning just for health, go for a run, start making content. My first stint is more gonna be more about learning how to do it, learning about editing. I can use CapCut, make reels and stuff, but I've got no idea about
Transitions and
using a GoPro, taking the SD card out, putting it in your computer, putting things in folders. But I'm going to learn. And that's like I'm saying, I think I can be good at anything. And the thing is, a lot of people stress about is, I want it to look good and I need... Bro, it doesn't... You just got to start. And I'm happy. This is like anything. I'm happy to start at the bottom again. Because I know I will work my way to the top.
Yeah,
I'm happy to
perfect.
start at the bottom.
I'm glad, because that's the most important thing, dude. It's got nothing to do with final product.
And you got to have a little bit of personality. And I know I have that. And I also have this... I know people are interested in what I do, you know?
Yeah. Well, because you're a hard worker, dude. You do things that people want to do. You know what I mean? But people don't, like fighting.
Some
professionally.
people think they can't do these things. And I'm just like, bro, I'm a normal person. I've just got this bit of ambition that a little bit of ambition and self-belief and delusion, like you said, can take you a long way. Like, it can take you a long way, bro. Manifestation, all that stuff. You just got to put the wheels in motion.
I think it's also a big fact that a lot of people don't have, and that's a control on fear. You know, it's fear that stops people from doing what they want to be doing.
Oh,
It's fear
the
of judging.
coward and the fear, the hero and the coward feel the same thing. It's just what they do with that fear.
Yeah.
That's
good quote.
That's a Customato quote. Tyson, Mike Tyson's coach.
Yeah, I love that. The
Coward and the hero feel the same fear. It's just what they do with that makes them a coward or a hero. You know, that the coward runs away from the fear and the hero runs towards it. You know.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, when it comes to it, I'm not even saying this as a point of suggestion. I'm just saying it's something that I've been thinking of too when it comes to following dreams. Patrick Bet-David, before he built his... Do you know Patrick Bet-David?
Yeah, I've listened to a couple of his... I do like him, but I don't consume all of his content. But when he's got good guests on,
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm one of his fucking not advocators, what's the word? Like, I guess biggest fans of consumers. But
good speaker.
Oh, I think that what he's built with his life is phenomenal.
What is his like background? What is he... So is he a business guy or what?
Yeah, quick recap. He was in the military for years and years and years as an immigrant. And then he ended up wanting to start a business. So he got into finance and not marketing, but like insurance and things like that. And then he learned the inside of it. Decided, fuck it, I'm going to start a business. I'll read 1,000 books on business. Then I'll start. So I read 1,000 books. I think in like a year or something, or 2 years. And then he started his business.
Books are powerful.
And just sold it for 9 figures, triple digits, so 300 and something million, his latest business. But he said before he went down this endeavor, yes, I can try and get to the top, and I will be able to get to the top, but I'm going to rather do it with company, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of content would be best consumed and fulfilled with two people doing it together. So I don't mean have someone on you, I'm just saying be open to the idea of maybe taking someone with you to be the videographer, to be this guy.
So this is the thing. This is the beautiful thing about talent, right? Like I've got my boy Jesse. We'll be there at the same time. I think he's going to probably go a little bit before me, but we'll be there at the same time. And like I said, the time thing is not an issue because we have the time. The thing is about Thailand and these fighting hubs is famous people come from other areas to be there to get away from. If you're famous in, for example, Hamza Chmaev, you know him?
Yeah.
He's from Switzerland, but he can't be in Switzerland. Not Switzerland.
I wouldn't have a clue where he's from.
Fucking somewhere. Anyway, not Switzerland. I'm just making shit up.
Tell you what, I'll quickly Google it that way.
He's from that's gonna kill me. Not Denmark. Oh, I know it. Anyway, he's from somewhere. He can't be there anymore because he's so famous there. He can't live. So they go to Thailand. They go to Tiger Muay Thai. They get away from these places. So there's a lot of people there that are already and influencers and stuff. They're all there. The people that are working these online coaching jobs and stuff with 200,000 followers, they're there because they set their lives up to be online and make money online. So you do a simple collaboration with someone. Hey bro, you want to do a video of me? Three tips on how to do this. Boom, we post it together. I'll film it and then you put it and then boom, and then now their followers see. And it's just that's where I feel like there's an advantage to traveling as to over here. Everyone is stuck in this thing. Like, for example, if I want to do it with you, like, we've got to do this. For example, we're filming this on a Sunday when we've both got free time. Whereas people over there have the time and it's just a different life.
It's also a shared
overseas.
community of people doing the same thing, which is
that's what is going to make it easier. As opposed to, I think it'll be way harder and take way longer to gain traction over here. And especially that thing of, I can build a fan base of people over there that people from Sydney might not even support me until I'm at a good point where they go, oh, hey, I know that guy. Because people don't want to see you win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people, simple things like, I'll check it, but if I'm subscribed to your YouTube channel, simple thing of like, oh, he's got 100, oh, he's got 99 followers. Should I subscribe? Nah, fuck it.
Yeah.
People have that little bit of, not hate, but not supporting in them. So I can build it.
Society's done that, on purpose, and I believe that's the reason we have social media, because you actually don't follow people because you want to follow people. You follow people because they're already a big name. You follow people because they're already established. To actually be the type of individual to follow someone through a battle, through a field, through an ocean, to cross the seas, is do something together. So we've actually built social media in the complete opposite route in which it says it's for.
Subscribed.
He's a
253 subscribers, and I've subscribed.
Yeah, he's
I was
sick,
testing myself. Am I a hater? Am I not a hater? There you go.
cunt. Yeah.
That's all it takes is just be a good person.
Yeah.
Simple.
He's a cunt.
A little bit of support
He's a
goes a
cunt.
long way, but right?
100%.
If every single person you have on your, I don't know if, like, I don't even know if you've got a personal account. I haven't even looked, but I'm sure you do personally. If every single person that followed you just subscribed to your YouTube channel, how much of an impact would that make?
Yeah, it'd be
Huge.
Dude, I see insights.
One, you don't want to ask, but also it's like you shouldn't have to ask.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
But it's also, you know what? It's actually a really much more beneficial feeling. The fact that you don't ask and that people shouldn't, but they do anyway. It's actually way more fulfilling, to be honest.
For sure.
Like, I see the insights on all my YouTube, Instagram, all that shit. Like, my account could reach 30,000 people in a week. I might gain 3 followers, 5 followers, 7 followers, you know?
But that's what I was saying to you about when we first started. I said, bro, you're at that stage where you're like I'm saying, your foundation is strong. And I think when it goes, it's going to go quick.
Thank you. I feel that in my heart, bro. I feel that.
That's the
Like,
good thing.
I know when
that's what
things-
makes it easier as well.
Yeah,
True?
Yeah. I know when things are, in my whole life, I've always known this. I know when something's about to go good and I know when something's about to go bad.
You
Like,
can
it's
feel
just,
it. It's an intuition thing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
100%. And I know where this is at. And it's like, I just got to keep doing what I'm doing, not change anything realistically, and just keep enjoying it. You know, and that's my only advice when it comes to the content. Just do what you want to do, bro.
100%. And I'm grateful that I have a lane and I believe in myself. And I also don't think it's going to be that hard. Like, yes, it's going to be hard figuring out the actual computer side of it and stuff. But I'm just like, I'm comfortable in myself to where I'm like, I'm just going to post shit. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
TikTok. What about that guy? I'm sure you know him. The guy, he goes like, right, boys. And he makes the skewer ball thing.
Bro, I
You know that
don't
guy?
know who you're talking about.
Ah.
Who is...
This guy, and he makes these videos and he like makes these, his name's like Cayenne Fit or something. And he went from 100 to like 300,000 people in like 30 days or something.
Wow.
Just posting these like oat bowls and stuff. And, you know,
Yeah.
like some people pick a lane. Mine's going to be very vast. I'm just going to be doing shit. I'm just going to be doing what I'm doing in my life.
Yeah.
And just trying to document it. Do I have a plan? As of right now, no. But I'm like, I've dropped everything. I've taken the risk essentially. Like
Yeah.
I could have kept building my business, but is it what I want to do in my life? No. And I'm like, fuck it. I want to live now. I don't want to live later.
Gangster, bro.
I don't want to live later. It's right now. And some, in a normal sense, what I'm doing is perfect. I'm grinding towards building something. But I'm also like, I don't want to put all my energy into the wrong thing. I feel at my heart that I want to do it this way. And even like I said, if it fails, then at least I'm living, man. Like,
Yeah. Well, at least
the worst
you
that
know,
can go wrong?
bro. At least you know. That feeling is a strong feeling, that intuition, that instinct of, I guess some people refer to them as encounters. Some people think, and religiously, it's a message from God. But I believe it's that gut feeling that everyone experiences that tells you what you should be doing, you know? Even if it doesn't work out, you never have to go, what if?
and
You
for
know?
example, I don't know what, I definitely believe in the universe. I don't know if I believe in a religion or a God, but I feel like I was saying, I never knew what I was going to do with my life. You have a direction, you're kind of going, all right, am I going to do this trade? Am I going to do that? Do I want to be a fighter? And I'm like, I feel like the universe didn't give me an answer until I was in a position where I'm ready to do it. 2-3 months, I'm like, I've always been like, what do I want to do? I want to be a fucking entertainer, you know? And then now I'm so grateful that I know where I'm going in my life. 'Cause a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Not that it matters if you don't know where you're going. A lot of people are just figuring shit. I'm not saying I got my life figured out. Essentially what I'm saying is my business has failed and I'm going to just fucking travel. But
Yeah,
I've
know
got a
what you
plan,
mean, bro.
you
I
know?
know what you mean. I think that the way you've been illustrating it has been perfect, you know? I think that I use this a lot. I use biblical examples because for a portion of my life I consider myself to be a Christian. Until
I was listening to that with,
you know?
with Jess, which is interesting.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I'm going to come back to something on that.
Okay. Well, I feel like what the verses do say, and I have no idea whereabouts it says that I'm not good with any of the chapters and shit like that.
Oh,
but
how
it
dare
says God will always. It says that if you pray for something, God will never give you what you want. It's always going to give you the
What you
lessons
need.
you need to learn in order to get there, right? Now, that's obvious and present for anyone who's ever made anything of themselves. Everyone can feel that to be true. On top of that, that tunnel vision that you were saying in the beginning of our episode is the same thing I've always had as well. And I told a lot of my friends when I was a kid too, I'm going to be rich and famous as well, right? But you don't know how you're going to get there. And that tunnel vision, that final destination, it's just a broad spectrum of the word greatness. It's just everything that can incorporate into fulfillment and lavish and outstanding and things like this. And because we have that, and I believe in manifestation, I believe in the power of belief and all these things, I think whatever that thing is, life will just constantly give you everything you need to be able to get there. So
Everything happens for a reason.
something works or doesn't work, bro. You're still going towards that destination. You know?
I just want to come back to something before. I don't want to, like, for example, like the greatness thing or the happiness or fulfillment. That's not to say that living a normal life, some people might want that. Some people, or some girls, all they want is to get married and have kids and have a house. And that is their thing. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But for me, I want something different. So I'm chasing my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that everything everyone else is doing is not the right thing. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Everyone's different and everyone has their own path. And you just got to... You got to figure it out and you got to do the work. Some people might not even know what they want to do with their life. They might not even have passions. That's why they're going out on the weekend. They're partying. They look forward to a Friday to have the... There's that saying you should use the weekend to build the life you want instead of escape the life you have. Powerful one.
Bro,
That was a Jake.
3 things.
That was a Jake. I've got actually heaps of quotes and
Yeah.
I've always save them on my Instagram.
Yeah.
And when I have a fight or if I'm like lack of motivation, I'll just go through them and someone will just pop into me and just hit me.
Yeah. Every time
Jake
I edit,
Paul said that.
I write him in my notes.
Jake Paul said that. Use the weekend to build the life you want instead of trying to escape the life you have, which is so powerful for someone. You know, some people might realize but not be cognitive of it that, okay, I'm not doing what I want to do in my life. Or even, for example, you probably work a normal job where you're like, I need to do this to help me build into this life, which that still will make you feel better than going, I'm working this normal life, but I'm not chasing this other thing.
Of course.
For sure. And
Of course.
no, I lost what I was going to say, but yeah.
Well, on that note, I find that in my life, I set myself goals inside of the things I do. So I actually, even though I don't want to be doing my career as my full-time thing, this and content and sitting down, meeting people, that's my passion. But
It's a necessity.
In my trade, there's things where it's like, fuck, I got to do the next accomplishment. I got to get the next, because I got to be great in that too. You know
Yeah,
what
for
I mean?
sure.
I just want greatness.
How you do anything is how you do everything.
Yeah, it's sick. And yeah, I love fucking. Every time I do an episode, bro, I'm gonna go back. There's already 3 quotes I'm added to my list of shit.
There's small things like that are powerful. Like the kind of the how everything happens for a reason. So like the guy I was telling you about, Tim Welsh. Who's if you're a male and you're even just remotely into fighting or health or anything, I'd suggest going on his YouTube and listen to it. It's the Timbo Sugar Show. It's Sean O'Malley and his coach's podcast.
Great podcast, yeah.
Do you listen to it?
Yeah. Not extensively. I only guessed
Just
I know.
one thing is they're just silly and they're just fucking around. They're being normal. It shows you that Sean O'Malley's this superstar, but he's just such a normal person. I feel like I know him and we're best friends because I've listened to every episode.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who the fuck I am, but he's just so normal and you can just relate to him.
Yeah.
But he does these great things that seem unreachable, but they're not. He's just a normal person.
He's One Punch Man in my opinion, bro. Sean O'Malley, he's One Punch Man.
What's
Simplifies it. Have you seen One Punch Man, the anime?
No.
I'll quickly go over it. It's basically an anime that's actually really good. It's amazing for anyone who wants to pick up a season. It's very quick and easy to watch. But this cartoon character, no matter who he encounters, he can just punch him once and then he wins. And the enemies get stronger and stronger until they can destroy universes. As soon as he shows up, he just punches them once. And his secret is he does 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 1 kilometer run every day.
See, someone like him, he has manifested his life into, he's always said, I'm going to be bigger than Conor McGregor. I'm going to make it to the UFC. So these small things where you say it and you reach, like, I'm going to get into the UFC. He used to be a fucking skinny little kickboxer who people will think it was a look at him, I'm going to smash him. Gets into the UFC. All right, now when he fights PDR, he's going to lose. Doing all these things, right? And you just take inspiration from them because they're normal people. What I was going to say was Tim was actually a Jehovah's Witness.
Wow.
Until 13, and then him and his parents split up, and he went with his dad, and it left him with a lot of shame and all this stuff. But what I was saying is everything happens for a reason. You got to believe in that. He says he wouldn't change anything because he's like, I took a lot of good from the religion, even though I learned it wasn't for me. The religion can do more good than it does harm. So for like people that aren't religious, or for me, I'm not. Personally, I don't want to dive into looking at religion because I'm scared that if I do find something, I'm like, I like to live with no like rules and freedom, and I feel like could it make me be a better person, go on a better path? Probably, but also I'm scared to look into it because I don't want to get stuck on something. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, I won't promote it. I don't promote anyone to stick to any religion because I like all of them just as much as the rest. I just have a background in Christianity, so I use that
I
as my
remember you
talking
listening. I
point.
remember you saying that.
But you say you don't want these rules and things to live your life, right? Which is fine because you don't need it.
No.
People don't have rules to live their life by. That's why they're good. You have exactly the same lifestyle as a religious person because you have things you can do and you have things you can't do. Religion's good because it gives people a ideology on the fact of discipline.
Good and bad.
You know, it has selflessness. It has self-respect. These are the core fundamental principles that religion are preaching. that everyone realistically has a God. Some people's God is themselves. Some people's God is the text. You know what I mean? So you actually are exactly the same as them. You have the same amount of belief. You have the same amount of rules.
Yeah, I guess I just believe in I believe in myself, and I definitely believe in the universe has a path for me. For example, like I wouldn't do the things I'm doing if I didn't believe I could do it, or if I didn't believe it was possible. You know?
Yeah.
If I wouldn't go and, like, I guess with fighting, like I go into every single fight thinking I'm gonna win. Weirdly enough, I've said this on another podcast before. The fights I have lost, I kind of knew I was gonna lose. Weirdly enough, because it's like you were saying, you know, like kind of when you got life kind of figured out, you kind of know what's going to happen and when it's going to happen.
Bro, be careful when you say that. Bro.
Yeah, even last night, like after the fight, everyone, I go, I knew if it went to decision, they were going to do that. And like all the people in the crowd were going, yeah, you got that, blah, 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 whatever. I don't want to keep harping on about that fight. I'm the biggest sore loser, but you kind of know when things are going to happen or I don't know what I was getting at. I've been rambling a bit.
You do know when things are going to happen, but I promise you that mindset is a dangerous mindset. As soon as you think you have life figured out,
oh no, for sure.
And what I do in my life is whenever life challenges me, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I can handle this, and it gives me more shit to deal with. And I'm like, all right, that's cool, and then I stop. Okay, I can handle more, and then it just fucks with me even harder, bro. Like you are responsible for whatever you.
That's one thing that I struggle with, and the business made me struggle with was the responsibility. Like I said, I like to just chill, and I like to be able to do what I want to do, which is hard to do in life because we need money. There's a certain the cog I was talking about.
The system.
But I've figured out how am I going to do what I want to do, and it's like I said, I'm gonna give this content thing a big go.
Funny how you say things like, you know, I like to chill, I like to do what I want to do, but you're the furthest. Just knowing you, especially knowing you online, knowing the sport you're involved in, you're not that guy, bro. You're not the guy that just likes to just relax and do.
No, but because I work so hard at that, I know I get to deserve to chill. Whereas, you know, right now I'm not really getting to because I got my business, I got that. But I'm like, if I'm working hard at something, for example, if I'm in Thailand and I'm like trying to make at least a TikTok a day or a YouTube video a week, and I'm doing that, then okay, I can go out at night and party, or I can. I know when to reward myself and when I've done enough and when I haven't. And I know how to work hard at anything. I feel like I can work hard at anything. Yeah. For example, if I was to just go work a normal job, I could work my way up the ladder to being the executive because I have it in me to work hard at things.
One thing that I believe, and I'm going to tell it to you as well, the guys who have done the greatness inside of content creation, if you want to be one of the greats and you want to get there quick, 50 posts a week. 50 posts a week, but that's spread out across all platforms. So you might share the same thing across Instagram and Facebook a few times and then make up a fucking status on a LinkedIn or a TikTok here, share a couple things on your stories. 50 posts a week is what people would be doing.
The thing is with that as well, though, it's like, how am I going to explain this? In life, you got to kind of not care as well. So I'm like, for example, could I make it and fucking end up being a millionaire, retire my parents? Yeah. Could I get nothing out of it? Yeah. You got to, same thing with a fight. Could I win? Could I get knocked out cold, embarrassed? Yeah. Could I do the same thing? It's like I've accepted that any outcome is possible, but I'm willing to just go and try. So, yeah.
Yeah. I get you. Well, what about for the rest of this endeavor you're going down for this year? Are you going to take any more fights this year? Is there any more planned? Is there any more booked in?
I want to have a kickboxing fight before I go overseas. I'm planning on going to Thailand in December. We'll see. Nothing's fully in place yet because it's only just happened very quickly. Like, again, just by fate, I started thinking I'm gonna close my business when the lease ends. My business hasn't necessarily failed. It's more or less just I'm kind of giving up on it. It's like I could put my effort into it, but I don't love it to make it. If someone loved it as much as I love fighting and health and you love your podcast, it could be way more successful. But it's like, I feel like when I'm there, the main thing I feel like is I'm losing time. I'm wasting time. This is not what I want to be doing.
Fuck, that's a powerful
statement. And it scares me because I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck. That's what I'm saying. I'm watching these people's YouTubes and I love it. They're doing these vlogs, random shit, bro. I watch anything. Like I said, I watch people's day in the life, what I eat, mountain biking, anything that entertains me, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I'm sitting here watching these people, someone will sit there and watch what I'm doing because I know I've got charisma and I'm having a go in life.
I'm not going to wrap it up just now, but we are getting towards the later half of the episode. But like for anyone who was wanting to start their own business and take a leap of faith like you did, right? You kind of did it by accident, but you also did it with intention.
Yeah, I did do it with intention, yeah.
what are they got to be prepared for when they face those moments that you face along this journey? Like, I'm sure your mindset's changed a few times. It's gone up and down. I guarantee it's been a roller coaster. You know, you said you've had good months and bad months.
Yeah, it has. It's taught me a lot.
What's some of the overall advice you could give to someone who wants to try a business for the first time?
There's no shame in failing. The real shame is in not trying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to fucking keep dropping all these quotes, but like, seriously, like I said, my business hasn't failed. It's still like it makes money. Is it making heaps? No, but it's making enough to pay the bills and stuff like that. But I'd just say you just got to try it with anything in life. Like, you're never going to know unless you try. That's with dating. That's with fucking business. That's with health. That's with people trying new diets. You're not going to know how you feel until you try these things. So just take a leap of faith. Don't be scared and just listen to your intuition. We've all got that intuition which it tells you what to do. And I just listen to mine and I just follow it. At the time, I'm like, fuck it, let's start a business. I want to do this. Boom, I followed it. Right now, I'm like, I want to chase my dream. I want to wake up doing what I want to do every life. That's what the next 6 months towards the end of the year is going to be looking like.
Yeah. What about in the terms of in the beginning when you had that curiosity spark of interest to go out and do it? Now you got to a point where you feel like if you were there, you were wasting time. I can relate to that so hard, bro, because, and this is going to sound super slack, but even when I have a missus, like I fucking fall in love, bro, real quick. I'm a lover. One day, I swear to God, I'll call my mates and be like, bro, I love this girl. She's my soulmate. Unfortunately, there just
that's like my mate Ben. He's like that. A girl will put a love heart on his coffee, but my mate Ben, a girl will put a love heart on his coffee. He goes, oh, she loves me. She wants me. And I'm just like, bro.
I swear to God, this is gonna be. I might not even put this in the podcast.
Nah, say it.
I actively fall in love 10 times a week. Every time I'm like, oh my God,
I'm the opposite. It takes me so much. I think there's something wrong with me. Why can't I like a woman?
I don't know. I swear to God, I have no idea what it is. I actually have a psychologist.
You just want to be Little Spoon, don't you? That's all you want.
I love it, bro. I love it. I just want to be fucking supported. You know what I mean? Yeah, nah, I don't know. But that same kind of thing happens to me where it's a spark of interest, a curious thing where I want to dive into it and just say, fuck it, take the risk. After a certain amount of time, I just feel like I'm wasting time.
Yeah, right? But also you got to sit back, and this is where I'm grateful that I did start it, because I'm like, again, like timing in life, the thought of what I want to do and where I know I'm going to go with my life has come to me recently, so recently. And again, it's happening quick, but you also have to sit back and analyze things before you do them as well. Mm-hmm. I didn't think about how much responsibility I was going to create for myself. Yeah. Have I wasted 2 years of my life? Retrospectively, no, because everything happens for a reason, you know?
Yeah.
But from yes, leap into things when your intuition tells you do it, but also you gotta be calculated with things.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just...
It's a difficult thing to be able to advise on. I got to be honest with you, bro. I don't even know how to do it myself necessarily, but I feel like as long as you don't quit because it's too hard, then you'll be fine.
That's the thing, bro. Quitting is... It's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
Quitting is the easiest option, but that's like, for example, the cold showers. Training that muscle of just trying to be tough. For example, bro, small things like this is where I feel like I made myself better through, again, all this stuff I've learned. I didn't just wake up and make myself into this person. Slowly, through the martial arts and being a better person, it's not just being a good fighter, it's doing all the little things. If I'm in the kitchen and I see the bins full and I go to fucking stuff it down and push it back in, and in my head it goes, take the bin out.
Yeah.
I instantly have to do it. Small things like that, bro. Small things like that. Doing those little things, like just how you do anything is how you do everything. You just got to take that into your life, and
just about to say exactly that.
You know, like it helps. It helps build that muscle again with anything. Like even like talking, like people talk about like even talking to women and stuff, like flexing that wrist muscle. You just got to keep.
Yeah.
You got to keep chipping away at things.
Yeah. I find that what I try and do as well, I have that voice in my head too that doesn't necessarily allow me to do what I don't want to do because it needs to get done. And I could complain and say it's annoying, but it does make me a better person. But I just try and do in my life what needs to be done then. And that's kind of my muscle that I build off. So say if I get home, I want to have a shower. As soon as I'm done, clothes go in the washing machine and I turn it on, I start it and I get out and it's like Esky comes home, then you unpack it, wash it, put it away.
System. And do you have a a non-negotiable, like how many hours a day you're gonna edit the podcast and what days, and or do you just get it going as a?
Yeah, I have non-negotiables in my life. Like I say, I drop this every Monday.
Does it feel like a chore when you have to start editing and stuff?
Yeah,
or no? Okay.
100%. Like 100. There's no avoiding that. Like I've started this, and I haven't missed a Monday since 104 Mondays.
That's
like, it doesn't sound. I'm not trying to flex on it, but it's like
flex on it, bro. Fuck it, bro.
I understand you would understand because people who don't know, they wouldn't understand if they're not doing what they're doing.
Oh, bro, I hear that. That was a rap. Whatever you just said was a fucking rhyme.
Okay, I didn't notice that. But whatever. Yes, it's fulfilling. Yes, it's what I want to be doing full time. But there's 99% of the time where I have to do it in order to get that 1% that I love. You know.
And again, another Mike Tyson quote. It's like doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that it's funny because you mentioned like the things with content, like, oh man, the things that I don't understand, like the SD cards and the putting the shit. I promise you, all that shit is like, oh, but I don't understand the footwork. Oh, but I don't understand like those are the easiest things because you can learn all them.
I'm willing to learn it as well. And again, all the information's out there to learn. That's the thing with anything in life. If you want something, the information's out there to learn. All these things I'm saying, that the health, the mindset, the business, the lifestyle, the relationship stuff, I've learned it. No one teaches you. You have to want to learn it. If you want to get good at something, you have to learn it. If you want to be half good at 1,000 things, you gotta go out there and learn it.
I tell myself that, and it kind of helps me justify my existence because like I want to be great, but I don't want to focus on one thing. It's like I believe that you don't have to be 100% in on one thing.
No,
whatever you're in, be 100% in. So
sure.
I want to be 100% in at my job. I want to be 100% good son or brother or content or podcast host or fucking this. Like whatever I have to do the best that can be done. But I don't believe anyone has to pick one thing and be that's it.
No, for sure. And also you can, for example, I might have thought for 5 years that I'm going to be a world champion fighter, and then life changes and I might go, now I want to be famous on the internet. And that's okay. You can deviate from the plan and just let life take you. But I feel like if you just listen to yourself and let life take you where you want to go, it's easier than taking the easy route and doing the normal stuff and not being fulfilled with your life.
Yeah. Comfort is a dangerous thing in this world, bro. Comfort.
All right. One thing I got to ask you before we go, brother, that vape. What's the go? What's the story? I got to call you up on it.
Yeah, I get caught.
No good. What color is it?
Pink.
We got pink. What flavor we got? Tell me, brother.
Watermelon.
Holy shit. What's the go with the vape? Tell me.
What's the go? As in, like, why do I do it?
Yeah.
I do it.
Is it a habit? Is it a comfort thing? Is it the nicotine?
I do it because it's my comfort. It's my safety. It's my fix. Like I haven't got much in my life left anymore. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I've cut a lot of things out of my life.
I did this. That is, and you got to be proud of that as well.
I am proud of that. But fortunately,
we all have our vices.
It's become easy now to be sober. Like it's now no longer a thing. Like it used to be like, yeah, I'm on this fucking journey of like fucking trying to be this guy. Now it's just my personality.
Yeah.
And it's like, I do it because I'm a pussy and I haven't committed to quitting. And for me, it's the last step. Last step is nicotine. Yeah. And then as soon as I kick it, bro, I'm good. But I just hold so much value to it.
But also as well, like, again, just because I think the vape's stupid, like, I just think that sucking on a vape is just insane because it does nothing for you. But again, everyone has their vices. And like, and if that thing makes you happy, then go for it, for sure. Like, bro,
it doesn't make me happy.
My thing is food. Like, I'm so disciplined in every area of my life. And people might think it's crazy. Like, I posted my weigh-in photo yesterday. I was shredded. I'm telling you today, I'd be 8 kilos heavier. I'm a fat lard. Like, my face is swollen. Like, I'm serious. Like, food is my
vice.
My vice, bro. And I honestly, it's like drugs. You know, when you get on a bender and you have one line and then that's it, you're done.
Yeah.
I'm like that with sugar. This morning I went to the cafe. I met my friend Ben. I go, oh, come to the cafe. We'll go and get pancakes. And he's like, yeah, I'll be there in 15 minutes. And I sat around and I went, I'm going to go. I went and got a muffin. And then I got a coffee. And then we went and got pancakes. And I've just been going all day.
Yeah.
But when it's time to diet and get on weight, I've never missed weight. But I think, again, this is where it's good. I've been kind of on the podcast, we're talking each other up, talking about what we're good at. I'm going to bring it back down to what we're not.
Yeah.
I like literally fighting and being in a weight class sport has given me an eating disorder 100%.
Yeah.
Like cutting weight and like, so for example, right now I don't have a date. So I'm like probably not going to get as fat as I would. But my last fight, I weighed in and I knew I had a date 8 weeks later. So I've had 2 fights in 8 weeks. So then you just like, boom, it's like you have a big food bender and then you put on too much weight and then now the next fight you got to like lose it all down again. And so for anyone out there, yeah, we all have our vices. Mine is food, and I do struggle with it big time. I'm a big binge eater.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't believe what I've eaten today. You think I'm a sick fuck. But all week I was starving myself, cutting myself down. Like I lost 5 kilos last week to make weight.
Yeah, wow.
It's so hard, but I'm mentally strong enough to do it. Mm-hmm. But there's also part of me that's not mentally strong enough to go
consistency
after. But again, I don't party and stuff. So like food is my reward. If I lose, I eat. Like depressively, I eat. If I win, I celebrate with food.
yeah.
But it's the sugar. It's a very addictive
Sugar
drug.
is a crazy drug.
So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to like make you feel bad with the vape because
I need it.
my thing is sugar.
Yeah. I need that. For me, sugar, I kick sugar. Like I don't crave sugar
it's
anymore.
So addictive.
I'm gonna bullshit a little bit. Like the last couple of weeks, caramello koalas. Every couple of days I have to go get one.
The large one or like the little baby ones?
Yeah, the large one.
I'm a sucker for just even the caramello or just the plain Freddo Frog.
Yeah, bro.
They got a different taste to it, mate. Different flavour.
The little ones, yeah, true. But for me, it's like I'm greedy. It's not enough. Like I get a big one. But yeah, for me, 100%. Nicotine's got to go. It's just I don't know.
But that's what I'm asking. Is it like the habit and the comfort of it, or is it the actual I need the nicotine?
Oh no, it's not. I need the nicotine.
Okay,
it's like it's because
did you quit smoking and you went to vape
like,
or no?
I'm a ticker. Like I'm a fucking. If I hadn't have a vape in my hand, I promise you, I'd be picking my nose.
Yeah, you got your
bro,
blue ball.
I'd be picking my nose, bro. If I'm not vaping, I'm picking my nose. If I'm not picking my nose, I'm scratching my eye. If I'm not scratching my eye, I'm twiddling my thumbs. Like for me, it's safety. It's like I think the psychological reason people do things like this is like similar why people never leave their water bottle. They carry their water bottle. It's a companion.
Yeah.
We use things like this as a companion. I just haven't found something to replace it with.
And also, nor do you need to. If you're on a good path, we don't need to be perfect, nor are we ever going to be perfect. So you replace it with something else. You might start biting your nails down, and then as long as we're doing
1%,
90% good, and just you're on a good path, and little things like that don't matter, bro. So it could be a lot worse. You've come from doing drugs and all that stuff, and bro, that's a big thing to kick.
Life. I live a different life, trust me, than I used to live. That's for sure.
There's no there's nothing comes. It's a dead end. The partying life, isn't it? It's an escape that some people aren't cognitive that they're trying to escape what they have, and they're using that as their thing.
Yeah, I could see it. I don't know, bro. I woke up to what it was out of nowhere. Like it was the environment. I don't know. Everyone's got their different reasons why they stopped doing it, but I kind of just had to get to a point where I was like, I can't see an end result to this, guys. I got to get out of it.
It doesn't fulfill you.
Yeah, I don't know. I did it to prove it to myself. I did it to prove it to others. I did it for a lot of reasons at the beginning, and then it kind of just.
And sometimes those things are fun. For example, I'm saying like sometimes I eat bad, and I'm like, that hit the spot. That was delicious, and I earned that.
Yeah.
But then you take it too far. That's when things start going bad. Right?
I have no moderation skills at all in my life, no matter what it is. But I have good discipline. So if I tell myself no, I won't do it anymore. If I tell myself I'll try it, I commit to it. I'm addictive as fuck. So for me, it's just as simple as no for now until it's yes. You know what I mean?
We've got to chase being perfect, but are we ever going to be perfect in life? And no. So there's no point stressing about it. We all have our things, bro.
Yeah. It's cool. Well, to be honest, bro, I'm excited for any more fights you have coming up. You know,
appreciate it.
I was just blessed with the availability to be able to watch it last night. It's cool to know I've watched you before, bro. That's
crazy. Small world. That's the thing about the fight world. Small world, and I've definitely got many more fights to come, many more highlights. Man, that's once I get back to kickboxing, bro, I'm gonna start putting people out cold again. Like,
bro, if you think the fight world's small, wait to get into content, bro. That's fucking retarded, bro. Like,
the best thing is, again, like you've built yourself into 100 podcast 100 episode podcaster, whereas 2 years ago, whenever you started, you were 0. Same thing with me in the fighting. Like, I was someone who didn't know how to throw a punch, and the fact that discipline and working hard, I built myself into a fighter who's had 16, 17 fights, amazing knockouts, Australian champion. It's just like you can do anything as long as you put your mind to it.
Yeah, 100%.
And we're both doing that just in different fields. So I appreciate what you're doing as well, bro. It's nice to see people on the grind, chasing what they love, and just having a go at doing something.
Nah, thank you, bro. I appreciate that a lot. Well, if it wasn't for you putting out content, showcasing the things you're doing, I reckon the Recovery Hub posts that you've been like, I saw one where like, oh, we're celebrating our 1 year, things like that. Like, they're the things that get other content creators like familiar with people. And like, I think that the lack of fear that you have by putting yourself out there and saying, fuck judgment, like I'm just going to do these things. Like, I respect that a lot, bro.
At the end of the day, bro, if people are loving you or hating you, as long as they're watching, that's all that matters when it comes to eyeballs and numbers, bro.
Yeah, it's sick, bro. It's sick. Well, I wanted to ask you too, did you know the Laudette boys? Did you know any of those?
Yeah, they went to Full Force, yeah. I know them. Like, I never really, because they were doing the MMA, but I do know them.
Yeah, they're good kids, bro. I was actually speaking, I called Damo straight away when I seen that before you came. He's like, bro, as I mentioned to people who I'm going to be doing podcasts with in my life. And he goes, didn't I tell you I was mates with Lenny? I was like, I knew Lenny. Yeah. And I've got to be honest, I thought to myself, like, I don't remember you telling me that, but I believe you did, you know?
Bro, small world, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hectic. All right, well, bro, as I said, I can't wait to see this content in the future, bro. Please just do it, bro. I can't wait.
Oh, it's happening. It's not there's no...
Yeah.
There's no ifs or buts, bro. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have a go. We'll see how far it takes me, or I'm just going to live life, bro.
You're going to enjoy
I'm a happy person. I love to live life. I'm just going to do my thing. Whatever I want to do, no matter what it is, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah, gangster,
whatever field that is.
Well, I was about to say I appreciate you coming on, but I'll save that for a second because I have got a final question that I do ask everyone. Hit me. The final question is a piece of mental health subject, and it's more of a piece of advice. So if anyone came to you because they were feeling depressed or lost, what would you say?
Good question. This is where, again, putting myself out there, I feel like I have built myself into someone who can give advice. That's why if I didn't feel like I was that, I wouldn't put myself out there on the internet or even have a go at making content and stuff. But I know I've built myself into a person who does know things and have knowledge and can help people.
Nice.
So personally, this is what I said on Jess's podcast. I've never dealt with any mental health. Obviously, everyone gets sad. Real mental health, I've never dealt with, but I make sure I don't because I do the right things. I eat good food. I get sunlight. I do productive things. I'm drinking good water. I'm doing hard things like cold shower. Could I go to the shop and eat Macca's on the way home and go and smoke bongs in my room every night and just fucking watch YouTube? Yeah. 100% I'd be depressed. But I'm not doing those things. I do the hard things and I listen to my intuition. So I would say simple health things. Start small. Get a morning routine. Okay, you don't want to have a cold shower? Wake up, 3 splashes of cold water on your face. Take your vitamins. Take your feet. Even just weird shit. Take your socks off. Do the grounding get a little bit of sunlight on you. Read 10 pages in the morning. Do 5 minutes meditation. Get a morning routine. And if you don't think you have time, you don't need to have a long routine. Mine, I can get it done in 15 minutes. I have a cold shower. I take my vitamins. I put my feet on the grass for like 5 seconds. I get a little bit of sun on me if the sun's there when I wake up. And I'll do like 5-minute meditation or just a little bit of breath work. Simple. Sometimes I don't even follow something. I just do it. Get a morning routine. And then when you're sticking to it, you're going to be on the right path. That sets your day off right. Don't think I'm going to do a night routine. Start with morning. Okay, small wins. Boom, 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 you build. I've had a good day. Now you're driving to work. Should I get a big fucking fat Red Bull? No, maybe I'll just get a long black coffee. And just start making these choices in your life that will help you. But again, if you don't want the help, like you said, some people, you can't help people that don't want to be helped. And some people might not take that advice, but yeah, you got to do good things. Get sunlight, read books. Again, the phone is powerful, but it's also damaging. If you're sitting there, first thing in the morning, you wake up, check TikTok, boom, now I'm taking in everyone else's stuff. Even if it's negative or positive, now it's absorbing you. Put your phone down you don't need your phone unless you got a business or you got to check it first thing in the morning. Check your text messages. Don't get on social media. Wait till you get to work or wait half an hour. Small things like that, bro, make a big impact on mental health.
It does, bro. I feel like that's a good explanation as well, because it is those tiny little things of building that morning routine, especially, that can help change someone's life. But then, of course, you've always got people that say, for example, I'll use me as an example. Like, I don't give myself enough time to wake up before 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m. what time I have to wake up for work. But the simple thing like my phone,
the tradie life is hard.
I just don't check it. You know what I mean?
There's no need.
There's impulsive, there's fucking Hinge, there's fucking Instagram, there's fucking all these things. And it's like, you might feel the urgency to check it, but I don't do it until I'm at work.
I
don't do
perfect.
it. Perfect.
Small win.
Yeah.
Starts the day off good, and then you build.
Oh, I open it to go put on a podcast to drive to work, but
that's
then
fine,
like
bro. That's honestly, that's fine.
I literally do it like this.
And I'm not saying mental health is not real, and of course it is. But I'm saying if I didn't live the lifestyle I did, I probably would have mental health. But I do the right things to make sure I don't.
Yeah.
And if you do, if I was doing this and I'm still getting depressed and everyone gets a bit of anxiety and all that stuff's normal, you can't just accept it. Oh, I get anxious sometimes. I've got anxiety. If you start to go, I've got anxiety, you're going to manifest you got anxiety. I don't have mental health because I don't manifest I have mental health. Is it a real condition that you can get? Yes. But if you're doing all the right things and you still have it, seek help. And I'm sure you got real mental health. But if you're not even doing the right things, start with nutrition. I'm telling you, food is one of the biggest, the gut, the brain thing. Sorry, I ramble. I'm sure you're trying to pack up. But
no, don't. I'm not trying to rush
my
it,
mindset today, as of yesterday, like just from the foods I've eaten, make me feel completely different. You know?
Yeah.
Yesterday, I fought yesterday. So I ate clean. I ate everything whole, organic. And I felt like I could punch a hole through anyone.
Yeah.
Today, brother, I don't want... I'm ready to put my application into The Biggest Loser.
Yeah.
It has a real effect on you. So if you're getting emotional on those things, start thinking, what did I eat last night? Okay, did that have bad oils in it? Is that processed? Just start analyzing things. Start analyzing your day and your routines, and start with the morning routine and start with healthy habits and absorb good information. That is in a summary. Podcasts, books, unfollow negative people on social media.
Yeah.
Simple stuff.
Couldn't agree anymore, bro. I think what we put into our body clearly has a massive effect. If I learn anything through my drug period of my life, that every single chemical that you put in affects you in one way.
Oh.
But I eat clean for a full week. Sunday, usually I have to quickly get a Macca's feed between a couple podcasts. I feel like shit, bro.
Yeah.
I love my Macca's.
But if you earn it, it's okay.
Yeah.
If you're earning it, it's okay. If you're not...
Of course. I think if you earn it, it is okay.
Anything,
but
yeah.
I mean, like, I do feel the difference. Like
Yeah,
you
for
said,
sure.
like, just having...
It's not real food.
It's not.
Go to the supermarket. The health food aisle is a third of the whole supermarket. The health food aisle.
Yeah.
The health food aisle is real food. Everything else is packaged and processed. Numbers, chemicals, bullshit. And I'm not saying I eat perfect because I don't. I've just spoken about my my struggles with food, but has a big impact. Start with what you eat.
Yeah. Nah,
well.
perfect, bro. I couldn't answer that any by myself. But I do have to wrap it up, unfortunately.
Good chat.
Honestly,
how long was that?
It was 2 hours 20.
Holy
2 hours 10.
shit, that was
2 hours
good,
10,
bro.
Something like that. Yeah. I try and go for around the 2 hour mark, but
Nah,
sometimes I
that's
go
cracker.
more, sometimes I go less.
Good
I
pod,
feel
bro.
like we could do it for 5. To be
That was
honest with you, bro.
solid. That was solid.
Yeah.
That
But,
was
bro, I
solid.
couldn't thank you enough for coming and doing the episode, bro. I really appreciate that.
Thanks everyone for listening. Simple. Go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. It's not hard. If you follow him, anyone who sees this that follows me, subscribe. It's not hard to help people.
Yeah, gang. Well, for all my mates who listen and all my people who listen as well, always my guest links are in the description as well. Everyone, Lenny's going to be putting out some content soon. I'm excited for us. I know everyone else will be
He's
as
a man.
well. Yeah.
Biggest YouTuber and TikTok in 2025 coming right here. Lenny Showtime Sinclair.
You sick cunt. All right. Well, for everyone who's made it to the end of the episode, thank you as well. It was an amazing week this week. There'll be another one next week. That's all right.
Shawty catch a vibe, yeah, I had to
You're
put
a
it
machine.
on. Bought a 2-seater, yeah, we heading for the sun. Shawty got my high, I ain't tripping for the funds. Yeah, I won't start, I ain't tripping, I'm a stunt.